What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the conversation today. And yeah, what a World Cup! What a big win from Spain. Everybody knows I thought France was going to take it, but I did say the winner of that matchup should win this World Cup. But very impressive result from Spain. You know, we've been saying it. Shout out to Natster. I know he jumped in for a sec. He'll be right back. There he is, my guy. But we've been saying it. Technical ability will always beat pace and power, and that was on display today here for Spain. I thought was a super convincing win, and I'm very, very impressed. But big up to you, brother. How are you?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, good. It's you'll probably be seeing me wearing these shades more for the not going forward, especially in the evening because the lights are too bright. Do you know what I'm saying? Like in my gaff, well, at least in the living room anyway, it is what it is. And then you have to blast the fucking the brightness on the old MacBook and all of that shit. But yeah, I saw that game, bruv. Yeah, Spain are winning it, bruv.
Yeah,
they're winning it. I don't care what anyone says. Look,
big up, Quaja.
The holiday is postponed. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, setting up for better things. Do you know what I'm saying? Later on down the line, I'll enjoy my summer here. I'll put in that extra work, whatever the case may be. That's fine. But I'm actually glad in a way. You know, what I always say on a reel, you are where you're meant to be in this life. Do you know what I'm saying? No matter what your circumstances, no matter what your situation, you are where you're meant to be. Yeah. Even England, despite all of, you know, who should have gone, who shouldn't have, do you know what I'm saying? You got Argentina and all of that. Yeah, they've had a lot of decisions. You know, France have had some against them. The odd ones go for them. And then, you know, Spain have just been going about their business. But ultimately, as a nation, and you know this, Johnny, full well, right? Spain are the most technical team on the planet, bruv. And we need the most technical team on the planet right here, right now, Fatboy Slim settings, yeah, to win it. And that's the way it's looking right now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they played them off the park. Like they didn't even need to be that good because they were giving the ball away a few times, but France just had no answer. Like after the pen, after William Saliba went down, shock. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and they just collapsed. Do you know what I'm saying? They just absolutely collapsed. Michael Olise had no answer. Kylian Mbappe again. What have I been saying, bruv? Yeah, for all the skills, yes, he's been great this tournament. Of course he has, but when he comes up against a team that's well organised, that has tech, that knows how to close him down, that won't give him as much room, or in certain moments and certain points, you know, you see that he just takes that extra touch. You saw that in the second half when he was taking it down the left. You know, initially he done well, right? But, you know, that just final bit of finesse and class on the ball. One-on-one, you know, as a finisher, more often than not, he slaps it. But, yeah, it's just, yeah, France was schooled, bruv. And Spain have been going about their business. They've been cool, calm, collected and all of that shit. You know, you can't really complain. You can't really complain because this World Cup really and truly has exposed P&P to the fullest, bruv. And I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it. You know, it's actually looking extremely likely, and it probably will happen. There will be a Spain-Argentina final. But I would not be surprised if England find a way through. I would not be surprised. But it's very much looking like a Spain-Argentina final because you've got the Leo Messi factor with all that tech and, you know, certain dodgy decisions and shit. We had a dodgy one against Norway as well, but
yeah,
it is what
it is. Well, there was that, and there was also the dodgy decision against Ghana with Konsa not getting called for the penalty with the dive that he made on the Ghana attacker in the group stage. Because
had
you guys screwed that game up, it would have affected where your placement would have been, rather than having the run that you guys had. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I think big up Banks, and big up everybody so far in the chat. If you haven't subscribed, please go over and subscribe to my brother Natster. But yeah, listen, man, we've been saying it. We this has been the whole reason why we call it the PR Premier League. Technicality will beat pace and power any day of the fucking week. And you saw it here today. The problem that I have with this game is, once again, certain players being chosen by Deschamps. I mean, I made the joke with I made the joke with fucking Natster, or not Natster. I'm sorry. Made the joke when we had it. And I said, I think Adrian Rabiot's mom is banging Didier Deschamps, because I just don't understand. I just don't. I swear.
I swear they're the same generation, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Look, it
is what it is. Getting their freak on and all that shit, man. Look, it is what it is, man. Like elite level ball.
You can't tell me France, like, the thing about it with him is I thought he was there strictly to play more defense. And it's just like, I don't know what's happened, but you can honestly also say, when we go back to what we say about technical ability, they don't have an Antoine Griezmann in there. Olise's sick, don't get me wrong, but I think Olise just proved from this matchup that he's better out on the wing than he is in the middle, in my personal opinion. I honestly think that when you look at the situation with France, I honestly don't understand why Kylian Mbappe can't play the left wing. So I don't know.
And what have, like, basically you have Mateta up front. I just want to say this very quickly, Gianni. Right?
I think Dembele should be the guy up top.
Yeah, you could play him
because when you look at it like this, right? He does the hard work for PSG when he comes into the middle, when he drops deep, to allow Vara and Doué to cut up. So for me, I think it makes more sense that Dembele plays up as the striker than Mbappe. Mbappe is out on the left, and Olise should be on the right. Now, where I disagree with France is, I don't understand. I don't understand the what's it called? I don't understand how Barcola is starting over Cherki on the left-hand side, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? So I just think that it's a whole situation going on with that. In my personal opinion, that'll come right back. I think his internet's having some issues, but yeah, it's just wild like that. Big up Chronic, my man. Ooh, Ekitike is a miss for them, Luis. I hear it, but at the same time, like, the problem with me with that is that Ekitike would play a different brand than what you would get with Dembele. If you're going all out attack with particularly the speed, like how France was playing, that's why I say I don't understand why you have Mbappe leading it through the middle rather than Dembele. Dembele just won back-to-back Champions Leagues as the striker for PSG. I don't understand how in this scenario we're doing this. So it is what it is as far as that. We get right back into the chat. Big up Tibbsy. Up the Wizards step and style. We'll see about all that. Luis, Rodri needs surgery after the World Cup. Yeah, he needs surgery. And there's also, now you saw William Saliba leave. So we'll be waiting to see what the scenario is with Saliba, because that's going to be a big worry for Arsenal. You know, even if Rodri needs surgery after the World Cup, so does Saliba. So this isn't, you know, we can't be looking, as Arsenal fans, we can't just be looking at, oh, Rodri needs surgery. So does Saliba, especially after today. You know, we've been saying it. He's been hurt since the third game of the season against Liverpool. This is nothing new to us.
Yeah, should never. What I was going to say before technical difficulties and all that. Can you guys hear me? All good?
Yeah, good? You're all good, bro.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, there's two things. Number one, should never have started Barcola. Barcola's not a starter in any team. You know, he doesn't even start for PSG. So, you know, that's clear and obvious, number one. Number two, the fact that Ryan Cherki doesn't start in this French team, bruv, especially against the most technical team on the planet right here, right now, Fatboy Slim Things, yeah, that alone should be a sackable offence. That's a fucking disgrace, in my opinion. The fact that you brought on Ryan Cherki for a bit longer this time around, yeah. Deschamps is gone, bruv. And what you said about Rabiot, yeah, the thing is with Rabiot, I don't think Rabiot is that bad of a player. But if you look at someone like Marino, who's he's a few inches shorter, similar build, right? But you saw what he did. You've been seeing what he's done this whole tournament, right? You know, making the impact. You know, and even like in the second half, you know, when he's dropping in midfield, like I still don't rate him as a midfielder, but in that team, around better technical players, he'll still pop it off here and there. He's winning headers. You know, he got the winning goal against Portugal. Who did they play in the last 16? Was he got the win? Was it Belgium? Was it Belgium in the quarterfinal?
No. Belgium lost to Spain in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, quarterfinal. And then was it Portugal was last 16, innit? That was
Portugal. Portugal was last.
Yeah, that was the one. And Marino got both goals in that.
Yeah.
And this is what I've been saying as well. For all the Havertz hype, but he scored 2 against Curacao. Yeah, Curacao, bruv. No disrespect, it is what it is. Cape Verde did way better than them. Yeah?
Yeah.
But what Marino does as an impact, and bearing in mind he's on less than half the wages, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? He's on less than half the wages, yeah, technically, of a Kai Havertz. If we use him as an impact sub, if we're not going to get another striker in that, yeah, we can utilise him. You see what he's been doing? He's not a bad option. He's not the answer. But, and if someone wants to put in a 30, 40 million pound bid, let's say for argument's sake after this World Cup, would I still take it 100%? But at least it means we get there or thereabouts, not too far for what we paid for him. Do you know what I'm saying? And Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino.
To be honest with you,
Arteta 2.0 Arteta 2.0 might be a World Cup winner, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Besides that, I'll be honest with you. I'll take him as the fucking backup false 9 over Havertz at this fucking point.
Oh, easy.
This guy at least is showing up. I'm going to give. I don't like the guy. I don't really rate the guy, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
fuck. He's been, when you look at him in the box for Spain, both in the Euros and now in the World Cup, in a 2-year separation, plus you saw what he did as the false 9 for us when we used him last year. I'd rather fucking take him as the backup striker to do the hold-up play and everything rather than fucking Havertz.
And even Jesus as well.
Arteta
was still trying
Jesus to me is the first one that's got to go, bro.
100%.
Jesus is the first one.
Hardly ever used him out wide, yeah. And I think he would have done at least a bit better out wide. But even then, his time is long gone. It's done. 260k a week to play out on the left when we're looking at better options. I said, big up DJB, yeah. I said it in his chat. I'd rather have Rodrigo in the summer, wait a couple of months, than get certain other players that we've been linked with, like a Barcola, for example, out on the left. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, I still want Rodgers as number one, because even though Vinny, the last few years, has turned up for Real Madrid and all of that, you know, and he started okay, you know, for Brazil. But again, like, you saw what happened later on, like against Norway, bro. Brazil didn't have a fucking clue. And Vinny offered nothing. Neymar, even though it's literally right at the end of the road, like, still did more. He still did more. Like, it's crazy.
I think with that Brazil situation, I think Ancelotti set that way up on purpose because he knew that was the only way that he was going to get through it. If Brazil tried to play open attacking football head to head with Norway, they would have got ripped apart. Because when they tried, they were lucky that Morocco didn't have their shooting boots on. Because when they tried playing open attacking with Morocco should have smoked Brazil. Oh, they were lucky that if they got 100%. Away with the 1-1. Real quick, I definitely agree with this with Chronic. France did play as individuals. They've been doing that the entire time. The problem is when you look at it, if you're a team of individuals, it depends how high your star power is. Star power, France has got it in spades. So, you know, but that's what I am alluding to with this, Chronic, is the fact that when you look at France, overall, it was basically two separate teams. It was midfield back, just defend, and then just dump it forward and let the front four attack in space. And then if they don't get the space and it's now down to Tech, that's where that lineup didn't make any sense, is what I'm saying. Kylian Mbappe by trade is a left winger. He's been forced to play a center forward role, whether we like it or not, because of the situation of Neymar being that much more expensive and willing to do less. Because Mbappe, when he came to PSG, was bowing out and allowing Neymar to be the left wing. He said, I'm going to do what's best for the team, and went into that striker role. And then if you remember, even at before that, he was the right winger at PSG.
Yep.
But by trade, Mbappe is a more true left winger, because when we saw in the latter years of PSG, he was mostly a left winger with that team. Now, that is the reason why I am making the statement as far as why I think the setup was wrong. Because for me, if Elise has been able to score goals and get 30 some odd, nearly 40 assists this season, I think he's over 40 assists this season now for club and country. Why would you take him out of position? He's better off the wing anyways. And Dembele is good at dropping into the middle and being able to connect the whole attack. You've seen it with PSG now. The thing what I'm not wondering is, what was the point of bringing N'Golo Kante around? First and foremost, what was the point of bringing him? You left Guendouzi at home, who I think should be on this French national team.
I didn't even know they brought Kante. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they brought N'Golo Kante to the team. This is what I mean. If you're going to hinder other players that you have, like, this is a perfect team for Matteo Guendouzi. Like, if you got Adrien Rabiot out there, why can't you have Guendouzi and just go completely young? And I think Guendouzi on ball is way better than Rabiot. Rabiot may be better defensively, but on the ball, I think Guendouzi is a much better. Isn't
Camavinga injured? Is Camavinga injured, or was he picked but not really playing that much? Did he get picked, or was he injured?
I believe Camavinga was more so injured. I think he did get picked. Let me pull up this roster real quick. But that's what I mean by it. It is what it. Listen, Zidane's taking over the team, which is going to be interesting now. When you think about it, it is what it is. Deschamps got it over the line. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's an end of a
Chouameni, N'Golo Kante, Zaire Emery. I mean, I don't know. I just think Matteo Guendouzi should have been taken to the World Cup, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Kone, I think I'll tell you one thing. Kone in this World Cup didn't blow me away that he's ready to be like a starter. I would take him at Arsenal for the sole fact that he's going to be a backup to Declan Rice, but definitely not a starter.
I hear that. Is he still? He's currently at Roma at the moment, right?
He's at Rome. Yeah. So,
which
Rome looks like they're about to get Garnacho, so it doesn't look like he's going to Arsenal.
Thank fuck for that. We don't want no scrubs. TLC settings, bro. No fucking scrubs. Hell no. And before I forget, big up to fucking De La Fuente, bro. Yeah. That fucking guy through the ranks. One at youth level, one with the Euros, yeah. Now he's looking like he's going to win the lot, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? But apparently there's no one better than Super Duper Mick. Yeah, granted, he's won us a league title, cool. But that Champions League, brother, if we had De La Fuente in that final, it would have given us a hell of a lot more of a chance to beat PSG with him in charge. Do you know what I'm saying? And if we had him the whole season, you know, our players would be fresh as well. So we'd have certain players with P&P. Because if you look at Spain's squad, for example, they got Nico Williams. I don't rate him at all. But for whatever reason, he manages to get the best out of him more than anyone else. Do you know what I'm saying? Even though we don't rate him, even though he's P&P and all of that. You got Mikel Merino, who I still don't rate highly. But again, impact sub. Do you know what I'm saying? That false nine. You know, target man, but, you know, can link up as well. He can do a job. Do you remember that, Johnny? Oh, but he can do a job. He can do a job. That's Mikel Merino, bruv. there's other players as well. I mean, you got better, higher quality like Mikel Oyarzabal, innit? You know,
Yeah.
slotted that penalty, and for me, right, it's like, you know, the quality's always been there, but he's not had the best of tournaments. But you know, when push comes to shove, it's time to step up to the forefront, stop playing and all that shit. He's turning up. Rodri is damn near man of the match. Him and fucking Cucurella, bruv. They were fucking awesome tonight. They were awesome. Like, I think Laporte did well. Unai Simon.
There needs to be a conversation about that. There needs to be a conversation right now because everybody's been swearing up, telling me that Ruben Diaz is this, this, and this. Merrick Laporte is 10 times the defender that fucking Ruben Diaz is, and he's
100%.
older, looking better.
Yeah. What he's playing in Saudi, I swear. Is he playing?
Yeah,
in
he's
Saudi
in Saudi.
still? Yeah. And he's putting in a great performance, bruv. It's not quite man of the match because you got Cucurella just got that Real Madrid move, and then obviously Rodri, like in this game, like he fucking stepped up. Do you know what's on his mind? I think for Rodri, it's like, well, I've technically won the Euros, but I didn't play the full final. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you remember it went to extra time, innit? Like was it Cole Palmer got the goal not too long before 90 minutes, and then who was it? Was it Oyarzabal or was it Nico Williams that scored the second one in extra time? I can't remember because I know it was 2-1.
No, I think it was Oyarzabal.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was Oyarzabal again, backwards and again, and all that for the Renegade Master and shit. Like, it's, just turning up.
You talk about needing a false nine striker. Why don't Arsenal go and sign this motherfucker?
I'd be cool with that. Look, if we get rid of Havertz and Jesus and we just bring in Oyarzabal for
I'm fine with that
up front, and then we keep Mikel Merino, you know, Arteta's obviously Spanish as well, and then you got Gyökeres as long as we play to his strengths and all that. Our front line is there or thereabouts sorted.
Yep.
And then Gyökeres has some extra competition now. It's not just Merino, you know, and before it was Havertz as well. Obviously, Jesus weren't doing shit. You bring Oyarzabal in, that's serious ass fucking competition. Yeah. You got Manu Kone in our midfield, you know, Lewis Skelly as well, competition.
Like I said, and I knew you were going to bring him up. That's why I pulled this up from RSV. Listen, Manu Kone is a work in progress. I don't know why people started overhyping him and saying he was something that he wasn't. The guy's played well at Rome. Yes, Rome made Champions League this year, but Manu Kone has a lot to work on. The guy's got a little bit of speed and a little bit of physicality to himself. Technically, he's okay, but he's not what everybody who's been talking about transfers has been overhyping him for. He would be a guy to get as a backup for Declan Rice. Now, obviously, I'm sure you saw the news that Declan Rice has been in really excruciating pain, is what the article was today. That, or at least the words that Tuchel got out as far as that. Do you think that this is a double whammy? If Rice does not play in the game against Argentina, if it's Anderson and whoever else he puts in the middle, do you think England get through? And the second part of that question is, if Rice is in that much pain and we're looking at a 2 to 3 month period with him out, with also not knowing the situation with Saliba because Saliba went out, do you think that with these two and how slow we're moving in the market so far, that we're already setting ourselves up to be in a top 4 race as far as Arsenal's concerned? First England.
Yeah. So for the first one with England, it depends who we bring in. If Tommy Tooks starts fucking Jordan Henderson, card trick merchant and all of that shit, do you know what I'm saying? Oh, but he's funny in the dressing room and all of that fucking bollocks. Do you know? No. Start Kobbie Mainoo, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Start Kobbie Mainoo. To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't even.
I've been saying Kobbie Mainoo should be getting minutes. I don't know why he's been hindered minutes.
Yeah, but then again, if we'd have bought Adam Wharton, it wouldn't be an issue, bruv. You could play both of them and have Jude Bellingham in the false 10. Do you know what I'm saying? Because him up top with Harry Kane, it's basically a 4-4-2 when we have the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Jude Bellingham, all action, but when we have the ball, he's up there. Harry Kane drops a bit deeper because he's got the tech to spray the ball and all of that shit, you know, and obviously he can finish as well. But yeah, like when you don't pick certain players, you know, Gibbs White and all that, you don't start Ezo and you don't start Rodgers, God knows why. And then you bring fucking Henderson, you bring fucking Noddy Madueke. Big up Carl, bruv. He said he had the IQ of a toaster, bruv. And then it sparked something into. I'll send you something later, yeah. But
Boy,
basically,
how bad did Ibrahimovic fry his ass?
Oh, he toasted him, bruv. Do you know what? I'm gonna send it to you right now, innit? I'll send it to you right now because have you seen the movie The Brave Little Toaster, innit? You seen The Brave Little Toaster?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. You'll see Wagwan in it. I'm sending it to you now, yeah? I'm sending it to you now. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah,
big up Carl. Big up Carl.
I know Laporte went back to Bilbao. My whole point of what I was saying is this. For me, I think Aymeric Laporte's been the best defender that City's had. I think if you would have took out Ruben Diaz and swapped in Aymeric Laporte the year that City won the treble, it wouldn't have made a difference. I think Ruben Diaz is highly overrated. I think Aymeric Laporte, as funny enough as it is he wouldn't get a call up to the French national team for some reason. He switches his fucking passport to go to Spain, and all of a sudden he's a fucking European winner, and now possibly on the brink of becoming a World Cup winner is quite hysterical to me. But
he'll end up being a world champion, bro.
Yeah,
you know, I think
with you. I'm still waiting for Odegaard transfer news too. I'm pissed. I'm pissed that apparently something happened with the deal with Galatasaray to where that's really cooled off now, because I was hoping Galatasaray would bite the bullet and get him. So
we can't have him as club captain next season, because if he stays, big up Suj, yeah, each and every single time, right? If we have Odegaard, yeah, if we have fucking Gibraltar guard as club captain,
big up Gavin.
Never mind just him staying, yeah. We're to answer your part two of the question, the second and last part, yeah, definitely top four race. You know, you look at Newcastle, they're struggling. They'll probably be in a relegation battle, and then Tottenham will be mid-table. You know, maybe an outside chance of getting in Europe if they keep going the way that they're going. We need to step it up. Andrea Berta, yeah. You know, he's been doing his mafioso thing and all of that, but you need to get rid of the rest of them cartel board, bruv. Because all of them, you know, like Trossard, we sold a bit cheap for my liking. You know, doing the same old shit, right? Not moving efficiently in the transfer market. I don't know if Arteta is part of that and is part of that process, you know, of slowing things down. But for me, Berta, you need to get a grip, yeah? Work with Michele, work with Alonso, who we've just brought in. Just get rid of the scrubs, man. I don't care if we don't sign anyone in the next couple of weeks, really and truly, as long as we get the scrubs out the door. If we get the scrubs out the door, yeah, bring in whoever we need to bring in, Rodgers for 100+ mil, just get it done. Do you know what I'm saying? Fucking, whether it's Kone, Bruno G, get it done. You know, Saliba one, I think he'll be out for a few months, similar to Declan Rice, maybe more. Go get another centre-back as well. Go get another centre-back.
Like, at this point, you need two.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there we go. Get a left-back. Get two left-backs. Not a lot of people, well, not a lot of Arsenal fans rather mention it, but I always bring it up because since Kieran Tierney, we've not had an out-and-out left-back, not even close. Obviously, Cucurella's gone to Real Madrid. You know, you still got Grimaldo. Is Grimaldo still at Leverkusen?
Oh, Grimaldo joined Atletico.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Grimaldo went to Atletico.
Another one.
Atletico low-key has made two really good signings. Atletico signed Grimaldo from Leverkusen, and then that Holmand, the holding midfielder that was on Sporting Lisbon, the captain, he went to Atletico now too. I think they got the two of them for 60 million euros. And Holmand was somebody I wanted at Arsenal. I would take him in a heartbeat over fucking Kone. He's a much better fill-in for Declan Rice, especially considering what Tuchel said today, when you consider the fact that he said excruciating pain is what I saw. So I think this whole situation is going to be really interesting right now coming into this. But to RSV's point here, listen, RSV, anybody who watches my channel and Nat knows I am a big fan of Tielemans. I wanted Tielemans at Arsenal. When you consider how fucked up this market is, exactly to your point, that Bruno Guimaraes, Newcastle's holding out for 100-some fucking million for this guy, and he just put in that performance for Brazil, and you're telling me Tielemans, with a washed-up Belgium side, got to a quarterfinal and has done what he's done for the time being, won an FA Cup with Leicester City. We can say whatever we want about Brendan Rodgers bottling top 4 in that period. Leicester was playing some good fucking ball, whether we like it or not, and was well overachieving with what they were doing under that time period. And Tielemans was very good, and he's been very good for Aston Villa. So for me, I think it's ridiculous that we've allowed Manchester United come in here to sniff that one out, especially when you consider the fact that we're also dicking around with this 100 whatever plus crazy amount of money they're asking for Morgan Rogers. I don't understand how we're in this whole situation. And we need a left back on top of it, because you're in a situation now with Saliba, you may have to consider moving Hincapié or Calafiori into the middle for the time being for a little while as an extra center back role because of the injury. So Luca Digne, even for 10 million for 2 years as a fucking backup would be a good deal.
As a backup, I wouldn't have him starting, and I'm not even just saying that because he gave away the pen. But he has been doing very well for Villa. So even in spite of that, as backup for sure. But as a mate up, but I still want a main left back. You know who my guy was? Outside of Tyreek Mitchell at Palace, he's the number one. But I wanted Miguel Gutierrez before he went to Atleti initially, and now he's obviously at Napoli. So I'm actually quite calm with that.
Yeah.
And obviously we're both calm with that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we'll leave him at Napoli. You know, he's chilling and all of that. So it is what it is. But I want Tyreek Mitchell. Big up Quadri each and every single time. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think Tyreek Mitchell, especially the fact that he didn't get picked for the World Cup when he should have done, maybe we could get a little bit less. So instead of it being 50, 60 mil, maybe we could get him for 40, give or take. And then you got Adam Wharton as well. Adam Wharton was being touted for 100 million.
Would you take Munoz? Would you take Munoz, to what DG is saying here? Would you take Munoz from Crystal Palace as a backup right back for
100% all day long? Yeah. European winner, same with Tyreek Mitchell, same with Wharton. We could get all three of them for probably, I'd say about 180 mil, because Wharton's going to be the most expensive, but I don't think he'll be as expensive because he, like I was just going to say, he was being touted for 100 million. But that was before, the World Cup squad was announced, a month or so ago, Now he'll probably be, 70, give or take. They'll obviously push for 80, 90, do you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be real. Even though I rate Bruno G, I'd rather Adam Wharton for 70, 80 million than Bruno G at 90, 100, to be perfectly honest. Because that 10, 20 mil can go to Luca Dean. Part of it can go to Munoz at right back. We keep Salmon as, reserve backup, to play left or right back. We still got Miles Lewis-Skelly. I don't want to see him at left back. I don't want Arteta to be doing Lego head bullshit. Keep Ethan on the right. If we don't sign a right winger, that's cool. If we keep Ethan and Max Dowman. Sell or loan Noddy, goddamn Madueke, the brave little toaster from now on. Do you know what I'm saying? Fuck him. I already sent you the pick, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? That brave little toaster can go fuck himself. He is toast, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? We saw that in the World Cup. Now everyone sees what we were seeing. Zlatan just absolutely destroyed him, bro. Destroyed his career, yeah? And rightly so.
But he's not wrong. That's the problem. He ain't wrong.
What has he done this whole tournament? Gordon's done more than him, and he ain't been good. Gordon's done more than him, and do you know what I'm saying? Yeah? 52 million we paid for him, yeah? 52. Here's another. I don't want to see, another Chelsea signing, bruv, yeah? I don't care if it's Reece James. I don't care if it's Cole Palmer, as much as I rate them both. I don't even care if it's Malo Gusto. You know, definitely Caicedo. I don't want to see any of them man at our football club. Do you know what I'm saying? Money laundering FC. Fuck all of that, bruv. If you're not going to sign any players, it's very simple. Get rid of the goddamn scrubs. Get rid of all of them. Get rid of Odegaard. Get rid of Havertz. Get rid of Jesus. I think Jesus is gone anyway. We've got rid of Trossard. 180k off the wage bill. A bit less than I would have sold him for. But fair play. Whatever. It is what it is. Yeah?
I don't think
Martinelli.
I think you weren't going to get much more. I don't think you were going to get much more on the market for Trossard than what it was.
Not even 25 mil euros?
No.
Not even?
No.
Even after, like, with what
you can't because of the injury. You can't because of the recent injuries. This is the thing that people like. I forgot who said it. It was in one of my my group texts. Somebody was like, it's a shame that you can't sell Odegaard for like 50, 60 million. And it's like, brother, who the fuck's going to pay that? You're putting it in a situation. First of all, Odegaard makes £240,000 a week. There's very few teams can afford to just pay him that, let alone a 60 million transfer amount on top of it. You're not going to get that. With Trossard, see, here's the thing. Trossard's been ran into the ground the last 2 years because if you look at it, he's probably been the most healthy out of the main 3-4 guys that we have playing up top. Him and Martinelli suffered through last year, or 2 years ago. I'm sorry, not last year. 2 years ago when we had all those injuries. Saka was hurt. We rushed him back from the surgery for Real Madrid in the Champions League. But if you look at the 2 seasons with injuries, Trossard has been the most durable out of all of them, and he had a major injury last year. Plus, you look at the situation as far as scoring, his numbers have gone down. He's not scoring like what it was for 23-24. His scoring numbers in total have gone down because he's been ran into the ground. And he's playing very
inconsistent. Yeah, he is inconsistent. I'm not gonna lie, but the only point I was making, bro, is like if Chelsea can sell players that ain't been performing, that ain't played that much for way above market value, even some of the older players, I just don't see why we can't even get 5-10 mil more, depending on the player, obviously, depending on the circumstances. Do you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not even expecting 30-40 mil for Trossard.
It's also the fact too that it's Turkey.
Yeah, that's the other thing. But Besiktas is not the biggest Turkish team. They're up there.
It's not. It's not Galatasaray, and
it's not even Fenerbahce. It's not even Fenerbahce either.
And remember, Galatasaray had to get fucking like 3 different banks to back the club in order for them to make that purchase for Osimhen. So it's not like they're stacked with cash like that over there. Yeah. Suits, that's a shout. I like Coyote as a fullback. I would take him too. I would take him too as a backup. He can do both. The thing that I like about Coyote is he's very similar to Timber in the sense that he's very good defensively. Offensively, he's not great. He's just got a cannon for 2 arms with the way he does long ball, the long throw-ins, which, I mean, automatically fits Mikel Arteta, but I would take Coyote.
I've got another name out there. Just as a backup, what do you think of like Wan-Bissaka as like right back cover?
I'd take him.
Because
I would take him as a backup.
He's way more defensive. Obviously, going forward, he ain't really doing it. But as cover, and he's not going to play every single game. 10 mil.
But the other thing too is he's got the fucking lungs. That kid can run all goddamn day,
and he knows how to defend proper as well. That's the thing. He can defend.
Yeah,
and all his flaws going forward. Like,
it's the same thing with Coyote. He's not a good offensive player. He's very good defensively. That's why I'm saying, like, if you look at it. Timber this season, as sad as it was our main assist guy. He had 5 assists for the longest time. But when you look at him going forward, he's not comfortable going forward. He just isn't. I'm sorry. You could tell Timber's one of them old school fullbacks that wants to basically play as a third center back, maybe get up a little bit, but be in a pressing area to where he's not far for the cover. But he's not a true going forward fullback. He isn't. Never has been like that.
Arteta was playing him like right wing or right forward.
Exactly.
Same with Nketiah. It's just like, no, bro. Nketiah is way more of he's a fucking centre back by trade anyway. Whereas Timbers, it's just like, it is what it is. Einar from Forest, that's a good shout.
He's a good shout for a backup,
Yeah, I like him.
Wan-Bissaka for me fits the bill. I mean, yes, unfortunately, he's ex-United, but The kid's got big team experience from being at United. He's got big club experience. It's not like the Liverpool situation last year with Kirkhez, where you're coming from a super small club to now one of the original big three of England. So yeah, I would look at it. Lewis Hall's a shout for the left back side. However, I agree. I agree with Nat. I prefer Tyreek Mitchell to Lewis Hall, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, Lewis Hall would be cheaper. Well, then again, like it's fucking Newcastle. But to be honest, like with the Wan-Bissaka, like is he still at West Ham technically? Who've obviously just been relegated.
I don't think he's been moved on yet.
Yeah, so we could get him on the cheap. So for right back, but yeah, when it comes to left back, Lewis Hall. They won't demand as much, obviously, as like the Bruno G's and what they demanded for, Tonali and obviously Anthony Gordon, who just went for 70 mil. But yeah, if it's not Tyreek Mitchell, I'm cool with Lewis Hall. And both of them didn't make the World Cup squad, which for me is still a disgrace. I don't care how well Tommy Tooks has done. Yes, he's a tournament manager. I'm not surprised we are where we are, when it comes to England. But, as for Arsenal, it's just like, if you're not going to be proactive in terms of buying players, you got to ship on the dead wood. Ship out the dead wood, bruv. It's either one of the two. If you're not buying players, cool. Sell the fucking scrubs. TLC settings, bruv. Sell the goddamn fucking scrubs. Yeah? Do you know how much we could get from Odegaard, Havertz, and Jesus just off the wage bill, even if we ripped up their contracts, bruv? Do you know how much we save? We save damn near $1 million a week, bruv.
Yeah.
A week.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can add Martinelli. That pretty much gets it there or thereabouts $1 million as well. 180.
Martinelli's 180 because he's at the same rate that Trossard was at.
Yeah, he needs to go.
Jesus.
We're not playing him up front. So
Jesus is 260. Odegaard's 240. No, Jesus is 260. Odegaard's 245. Havertz is 280. Saka's 300.
Yeah.
Declan's 2 something. Gyökeres is 240.
Yeah. Odegaard's 240. Jesus is 265.
Saliba's 240.
Yeah.
Quaj, I want to bring you in with this. First off, big up, my guy. I always appreciate your time. Have you gotten anything updated yet for Saliba for the injury? Have they said anything yet about this?
They said that it's apparently a muscular injury. I mean, if that's serious, we're fucked because the season's starting to come, and him missing out is going to be a massive blow. When I saw that, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a long season start to the season for us because we all know Saliba and Gabriel are a very good partnership, but when you take Saliba out of that partnership, Gabriel looks average, and you can see why Gabriel and Saliba are so close together. But when I look at this injury, he's been playing with a back injury. Don't forget, Arteta said it himself in the Champions League final when we lost.
He's been injured, brother. We've called it. We've been said we're negative fans and everything else. All three of us for the longest time has been saying he's been hurt since the third game this season against Liverpool. We've all said that the ankle was hurt when he fucked up before the game even started, and since then he has not looked right. He's been injured the whole season. So listen, if he's hurt for an extended period of time, we're fucked. We're not winning the title without him. That's not happening.
But at least we don't sell him to Real Madrid for one more season. That'll be the fucking talk of the town.
But I think Saliba wants out to begin with. I don't know if Saliba wants to stay, if I'm being quite honest with you. I don't know.
But either way, I think we should go for a centre back anyway. Like there's so many positions, that we need to fill, and it's not so much the squad depth. It's not so much the numbers in terms of it's the quality. We need the quality, which means we need to ship out the deadwood and then replace them with serious quality. Even the backup needs to be good, like the ones that we mentioned already.
I'm glad you said it because that's where I wanted to go with this. If you're looking at it from a backup perspective, who are center backs that you're looking at that in order for that to happen? Because for me, I don't want to see Chelsea get him. I'd go get that Lacroix from Crystal Palace, and I'd be willing to burn 40-50 million on him for the backup because at least Lacroix, is used to the Premier League. He's been a starter now in the Premier League for a few seasons, has been good. I rate him. I'd rather you're not going to get the problem. Listen, I'll be the first to say it. I think William Saliba is probably the best center back in the world.
Yeah, he's definitely better than Gabriel, especially after this tournament.
He's better than
I'll hold my hands up in it. Like Gabriel's been
Gabriel had the better season, I would say, for Arsenal this season. But overall, with their time together, I think it's pretty well known that Saliba's the better of the two.
Yeah, and then if you look at Lacroix as well, sorry to cut in, but it's just like with Lacroix, he's quick. He's more of that mold with William Saliba than Gabriel. The only difference is he's not as good on the ball. But again, I'm not fussed about that because as long as you can defend, he's got a bit of pace. Just don't let him take pens. And even for backup, 40, 50 mil, some would say even in this current climate is a bit too much. But compared to all the other options, like the one that I've wanted for the last few years, but maybe that ship has sailed, is Joachim Anderson from Fulham, who used to play for Palace. I've always rated him as a good backup centre-back.
You know what?
He'd be cheaper now, but...
I'd take him.
Yeah, I'd still take him.
He's 29, turning 30, or he's 30 now? I'd sign him for 2-3 seasons as a backup.
Would you sign John Stones on a free? Would you sign him on a 1 year?
No, not John. No. And let's be honest, Quadra, right? He's not really lit up England. Do you know what I'm saying? None of our defenders have really. Mark Guay hasn't played that well. Konsa hasn't really played that well. You even had Kwanzaa that stepped in and then got sent off against Mexico. Like it is what it is. And then you got fucking Jed Spence, even though he played brilliantly against Norway. Outside of that, and he's Tottenham as well. So
John Stone. If John Stones was a free agent coming into the season that just passed, I would have heard it, but I would have been John Stones would have been my signing instead of what's his name? Norgard. I stand by it. John Stones in his entire time for Man City looked better as that offshoot defensive midfield aid to Rodri in that 3-2-4-1 when they won the treble. He looked better in the more open space in the midfield than he has ever done as a center back, in my opinion. I don't see what everybody says about John Stones, the center back. I think Ruben Diaz and Stones are two of the most overrated center backs that I've seen for quite some time. Suge, this is a shout. Murillo would be somebody I would look at. I would also I would also look at that Milinkovic from Nottingham Forest too.
Yeah.
I've seen him for a while because he came up through Fiorentina, and he's a good center back. I would take him too. RSV, listen, I don't know how Mario Gila made it to. Well, I know how he went to Milan because Napoli fucked up because we don't have the money. We don't have the money because we fucked up under Conte. But for him to go for 30 million euros with the way he's been in Italy for the last 2-3 years, I'm shocked. I would have loved Arsenal to pick him up because for 30 million euros, this guy's one of the best purchases so far on the market that's gone on. Him and Tielemans might be the two best purchases that's been made, especially when you consider it for the money. Brother, you don't need him as you guys keep looking at this with high line and no recovery pace. Here's the problem. He's coming in as a backup. And again, you have somebody else to play there if you get burned. You still have Nkapie that can play center back, who's a very good center back. Again, he was a very good center back for Bayer Leverkusen when they won the Bundesliga. So again, there's ways to look around it. It's not just, you have to look at it from a high line perspective. Murillo's a good one-on-one defender too. So
I don't think we'll play that ridiculous high line that we did last season or this season just gone. And I'll tell you why. Because Arteta knows now, being the only manager currently to be a Premier League winner, right? He has to adapt, bruv. And we've seen him adapt before. You know, that 22-23. Yes, we were still playing the high line, but Martinelli, Saka, do you know what I'm saying? When we had Smith Rowe, etc., even Reece Nelson as backup, like Jesus, they were all doing a job for us, even Odegaard to a degree, with that high line pressing. And then when we had the ball, we were countering, we were free flowing and all of that. Even Arteta knows, that if he runs all of our players into the ground again, this up and coming season, yeah, like his ass will probably be on the line at some point. Do you know what I'm saying? Very soon, especially if we drop down that table, because you can't go from first to like fifth and sixth like what Liverpool have done. But like what you said earlier, Gianni, if we're still fucking about in this summer transfer window, that could very much be the case, especially if Tottenham are not too far away from us.
So like, Julian Laurent has been quoted coming out recently and translating and said, you could read on William Saliba's lips, my back is gone, as he stopped playing. That's not a good look for Arsenal if that is the situation there. Quaja, what have you made of this whole thing going on with Arsenal with these transfers? I have not been pleased or impressed with how everything's been being handled. I think we're moving a little too premature and acting as if we don't know what it takes to win. What do you think about how we've handled the transfers so far?
To be honest with you, it's not been a great summer window. When you see Manchester United buying midfielders like Yuri Tielemans and Andre Santos, they're getting their deals done. Man City, you've got Elliot Anderson and Jeremy Monga done. We've just about to sell Trossard to Besiktas. I mean, we bought Ilan Melia for some reason. I don't know why we bought him. He barely started for Leeds United last season. I don't know why that was the case. Listen, we bought Nkapia on a permanent, but other than that, we've done nothing. We're waiting for a left winger. We need to improve on our attack because with the defense actually won the league for us last season, not the attack. Because let's be real, that defense won us the league title, and our attack is not looking good. And when I look at our midfield, Declan Rice needs rest, and we don't have an actual proper number 6 that can help Declan Rice. We need a number 8 because Marino is not good enough to be the number 8. Lewis Skelly's the only number 8 that's better. I think Zubamendi can do the job, but he's slow in midfield. I think he has to be the bench player, and our forward line is not looking good. We need fullbacks because we still don't have a quality left back, and we need a right back because Timber looks crocked. And I mean, Timber's now in Marbella to recover from his groin injury that he's been having against Everton. So he's now in there. He's in Marbella trying to recover from his groin injury. Now, we've got Ben White, Mosquera, Timber as the right back option. Maybe Declan Rice can be right back because obviously Arteta played him against Brighton last season. But left back, we cannot put Marcelo Skelly left back. This inverted shit needs to stop. We did it with Zinchenko and it fucked, and the experiment failed. Let's be real. We could have got Theo Hernandez, but he went to Saudi. We could have got Theo Hernandez, and we should be getting like Natsta said, Tariq Mitchell or Lewis Hall. Those are the proper left backs. But overall, I would have taken Tariq Mitchell. But when you look at it, yeah, it's not looking good. It's a 1 out of 10 window for me. I mean, we're selling Trossard, but come on, bro. You want to sell Trossard before Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard, Havertz? Are you serious? Come on, Andre Berta. You know you can do better. Listen,
Mendy, fucking
Madueke. That's actually
all of them need to fucking go,
you
bro.
Brought up too, Quaja.
Yeah,
with Zubamendi doing a job. If Saliba's out for a period of time, and you're telling me that we got to convert either a Hincapié or a fucking Calafiori to be the other center back lined up with Gabriel, and Zubamendi's going to be the 6th for a couple months, we are not going to be in no fucking title race coming into next year. I don't give a shit.
Marley Salman, because he's the young center back that we've got. I mean, we can have Mosquera next to Gabriel. I mean, I don't know if that's going to work, because I remember when we lost, I think, what was it, Anfield, when Saliba went down, Mosquera came on and thought he did a job, but I'm not sure if that's going to help next season. So
exactly how that goes. And that's my point. Mosquera is your next best guy afterwards, and now you're starting to do the whole thing where you're rearranging the team, as we know Arteta loves to do. With one injury, 8 guys get moved into different positions and shit. So, for me, that what you said with Zubamendi doing a job, I think hits the point. We need to get our fucking business done. Now, listen, I am not prescribing to this idea that Bruno Guimaraes is worth 100 fucking million. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not. The guy's a good player. Don't get me wrong. But the guy didn't do nothing special in this fucking World Cup for Brazil. Let's just be honest. That if anything, the midfield is the weakest point in Brazil, if we're being honest, for what happened with this team. So if you look at it, he is. I mean, Nat, you said it earlier. I'd rather spend $100 million on Wharton. At least you got longevity with that fucking kid, and he's young, but already has experience. He's already got experience as a youngster. I'd rather fucking him on the damn team if we're looking at it.
And he's won in Europe as well. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The only thing that Bruno G has won is a League Cup, and I don't disrespect the League Cup. Same with the FA Cup. That's great, and I know we both know, we all know the history of Newcastle. Like they're a great team in the mid-90s that should have won at least one league title and didn't. Obviously, Kevin Keegan with his infamous "I'd love it" and all of that if we beat them and all that shit. But you know, like at the end of the day, right? Adam Wharton is a European winner. We need more people that have won in Europe, whether it's the Conference League, whether it's the Europa League, but definitely the fucking Champions League, yeah? If we're not going to go for Morgan Rogers, yeah, I would entertain Vinny Jr. only because, or the main reason is because he's got the mentality in it. He's got the mindset, and he'll keep Arteta on his toes. Because if Arteta starts fucking about with this team and we start playing that bullshit that we done last season, Vinny ain't going to stand for that shit. And other players will follow. Because even though Vinny didn't have a great World Cup, he was one of the best of a bad bunch. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, if it wasn't for his goals, I don't think Brazil would have got anywhere near where they did.
Hell.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? So the one positive of Vinny signing, even an Mbappe for argument's sake, because they're similar players, right, is that Arteta can't be fucking about. And to be honest, I don't think Arteta really has any room to fuck about anymore. You know, like I said, not too long after we won the league title, and then a bit after we lost the champs in on pens, innit, right? Look at Wilder as an example, right? I'll give another sporting example. Deontay Wilder, right? As soon as he fought fucking Tyson Fury, yeah. Look at all the fights that he's had since, bruv. He's not fighting 90-year-old Ortiz. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not fighting Bermane Stiverne. He's not fighting all these other bums and all of that shit. Dominic Brazil and all that shit that he was beating before, knocking out in 1 round or 2 rounds. Do you know what I'm saying? He's fighting top-ranked contenders. He got whooped by Zhang, and then he got beat by who else did he fucking lose to? I can't fucking remember, but they were both top-ranked contenders, innit?
Yeah.
The point I'm making is, once you reach that point, you can't go backwards, bro. You have to evolve, or time to start thinking elsewhere, innit? Which is where Arteta's at right now. He can't go back to doing the same old shit. I don't care what the fans are going to say from here on out. Like, he has to move forward, or he's going to get left in the dust, period.
No, 100%. And that's the reason why I'm saying that, like, when we were talking about Milinkovic and Murillo and you know, guys like RSV and guys and saying, oh, they're slow or something. I don't think we're going to be playing as high of a line. I think Arteta knows that we have to play with the ball more and have to be a more forward-thinking team if we're going to go back-to-back. Again, we only scored 71 fucking goals last year.
Yeah.
We only scored 70. We have the second lowest goal scoring tally in the last 10 years of the Premier League. The only team that scored less goals than us was Leicester that won it.
And we should have won it that season as well. We beat them twice. We're the only team to beat them twice. Back to back in the league.
But then when you look at it with what's going on right now with Saliba, you're not fucking defending and only giving up 27 goals if Saliba's out for 3 months. That ain't fucking happening.
No way.
That ain't happening. So that's the reason why I think Arteta is going to have to adjust either way and have to let some of the restraint go. Because, again, you can't play. If Saliba's gone, let's say worst case scenario, Saliba's gone for 3 to 4 months, the beginning of the season. He's gone for 3 to 4 months. You're fucked. You can't play that brand of football without Saliba. There's nobody who are you going to go into the market that you're going to buy who's going to do what Saliba can do and has to be willing and ready to be able to go back to the bench when Saliba comes back? It ain't fucking happening. Especially considering we don't know what the state is of Declan Rice is either. If you're telling me Rice Saliba, we already knew had to have a minor surgery at the end of the World Cup anyways. Now, by the looks of it, and from what Julien Laurent's been saying, this could be a serious injury to where now he's missing significant time. Brother, if you're telling me that it's 2 to 2.5 months to maybe 3 months that Declan Rice and Saliba are out, you're not keeping out 27 goals again. So you're going to have to change and have to play more forward thinking. That's just not going to fucking happen. Plus, here's the other thing. More of the big team, Spurs, Chelsea, they're not in Europe. They only have 1 game a week. So the pressure is on you to continue that run of being in the Champions League and trying to make a run for the title. So the onus is on you. City, like I said, City, it's going to be a 180 spin either way. Either they look at Maresca, oh, he's the number 2, we don't really give a fuck and blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't work out because he was brought in to basically do he's Pep's number 2, he can just keep the train rolling. It's either going to be one or two things. Either he's just as strict as Pep and they're not going to look at him with the same respect, or if Maresca's smart, you go in with a little less control freak mode like what Pep Guardiola has, let him breathe a little bit, and now because certain players are gone, purposely feed Haaland, because that for me has been the biggest problem with City is they don't purposely feed him enough as they should, and all of a sudden City goes back and wins again because Liverpool hasn't done anything to convince me that they're going to be back next season challenging for the title just yet. They haven't done enough for me yet. For me, it's still between us and City. So we'll see with what ends up happening as far as that. As far as to this question, who would you say are the biggest culprits? Chelsea back in 23 when they signed Caicedo and Enzo, or City Spurs very recently for hyperinflating the market? Listen, the problem is this, and this goes into Tibbsy, who asked the question earlier about Fiorentina has already spent $100 million. The problem is this: teams are realizing that they can't take a chance. Now, the Fiorentina thing on the real quick, Fiorentina almost got relegated. They have spent Joe Barone and the ownership for Fiorentina. Obviously, Barone and Rocco Commisso both passed away, but the people that are running things from them are not going to let what they've built go to shit. So they have to pump money into Fiorentina. Otherwise, Fiorentina is going to be on watch to possibly go down again this season, which would be an absolute.
You can't have Fiorentina get relegated, man. Like it's one of them, like where they're too big to go down. And I'll say this as well: when it comes to us in terms of Napoli, right? Yeah, we're in a position where we shouldn't even be like mid-table or like Europa or even Conference League now. We built ourselves up to a point. That's why I asked you and Antonio, who was on my channel after the Norway game, innit? And big up Antonio each and every single time. I know you're living it large and in charge in Morocco, yeah?
Yeah, he is. I hope he's having a great.
He's having a banging time. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? But yeah, like it's like when I asked that question and you guys were like, no, we're not quite a big club yet in Italy. You know, not just yet. Like we've won trophies recently, but there's a lot more that needs to be done. And I agree. In a way, like I hear it. Obviously, like, you know, in Europe, you know, like you got that UEFA Cup. Like, yeah, it was a long time ago, but if it like in the Champions League, if we're not progressing past like the last 16 and that, or even getting anywhere near a quarter final, if we drop down to like the Europa League for an example, then it has to be a case of go fucking win it. Conference League, you have to fucking win it. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in the Champions League, you're only going to get up to a certain point. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. But go win the fucking league, innit? Go win the fucking league. Go win the Coppa Italia.
If Napoli pulled off a Europa League with significant teams in there from England or Spain, it would be a feat. Because we're not ready, we're not ready to do that just yet. As far as that, we need. The thing with Napoli is we overextended ourselves with Conte. Conte fucked us financially. Everybody was soaking up the Kool-Aid, was drinking up the Kool-Aid and everything else. It is what it is. As far as that, I personally think that Fiorentina has to spend 100 because they know they have to stay in the Serie A. Otherwise, if they got relegated, it would be a detriment to that club. It would be an absolute monster travesty if that club went back down again to Serie B financially, because it would be very hard to recover that team. Very, very hard. I mean, look, Palermo has gone down and hasn't come back, and they're a part of the city organization now. So what does that tell you about, how difficult it is to come back? So I think it's a big thing for that.
Didn't Girona get relegated?
I think Girona could get relegated. Yeah,
because they're part of the City group as well. Wasn't it Pep's
and
brother?
they're more, and you know what? They're buying these teams to more so be feeder talent for Manchester City.
Oh yeah, of course.
So,
I don't understand why Arsenal don't do that shit. Obviously, we got Michele, from Napoli as well. So we have that connection. So it's one of them ones. Not to say Arsenal should rip Napoli apart. I don't want that, especially not now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we do have some good players, but it's just like it's more of a case of scratch my back and then I scratch yours kind of deal. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And then get the best talent, especially from southern Italy. Do you know what I'm saying? And then if Napoli don't get them, then we get them. If we don't get them, then Napoli get them. And then we're both happy in a way. Do you know what I'm saying?
The problem is, I think, is the fact that if you look at it, the Kroenkes, I think, have the most amount of money dumped into buying teams, because all of their other teams that they have are American franchises. I think if they were strictly a footballing ownership, I think they would have probably already done that to copy what City's done. I think it's because so much more money is tied up into the Rams, into the Nuggets, and everything else. But to the question here from Joseph, and big up JCG every time, he goes, "Are you surprised only one player left Arsenal so far?" I'm not surprised. Because the thing is like this. My worry with Arsenal is, and you're already seeing it with some of the fan base, is they're not moving like a big team, because a big team would have already made the moves that players that they would have went after, or at least made it be known, and you're not seeing it. So for me, I am concerned with the way that we're moving right now. And Quaja has said it, Nat said it. If you want to win, listen, City won 4 years in a row. If they went after somebody, they made it known and got the fucking business done. That's just what the big teams do. When Bayern Munich go after somebody, they go after them, get the business done, and let it be known that it's their player. Listen, for me, I would have hoped that 4 or 5 players would have already been sold by now. And I've said it, you bite the bullet. If you've got this much fucking money, like everybody keeps saying we have, bite the bullet, take a loss on the guy. It's not like you're not going to make up money for getting that massive salary off the fucking books. Just bite the bullet and get rid of him. So for me,
and then with a player that we sign, whether it's Rodgers, we get Bruno G or whoever else, we can make that up in fucking player sales. The ticket prices are already up anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's for me, it's just like a no-brainer. Like I said earlier, if we're not buying these players right here, right now, Fatboy Slim things, right? Yeah, then we need to be selling them scrubs. It's as simple as that. Get them fucking scrubs, get them bums off the wage bill, right? Because for me personally, that's a bigger statement. And like you said just a second ago, Gianni, cut your losses, innit? But the problem is, it's Arsenal, bruv. As I'm sure you're aware, Gianni, Quadra as well, and others in the chat, Arsenal have been known as the Bank of England club. Yeah. So we don't like to to have losses on certain players, no matter how good or shit they are. Do you know what I'm saying? And the ones that are good, we either sell them right at the end, and for cheap, Because I'll give you a perfect example, right? When we sold TT for 16 mil, at that time it was too cheap. Even though we bought him for no, actually he was a free. I think he was a free from Juve. So we technically made money, But again, that's not the point. The point is we didn't sell him at market value even then. There are other players over the years. Like we could have sold Alexis Sanchez to City for 60 mil, but we decided to do a swap deal to bring Mkhitaryan the other way. Now Mkhitaryan was a good player, but it's not the same level. And Alexis Sanchez flopped as well. It is what it is. My thing is, why can't the thing is with Arsenal that I haven't ever really it's always baffled me for years. Yeah, we hold our scrubs in the highest regard in terms of look at Eddie Nketiah. We actually got lucky with that. I'll tell you why. Because there was Wolves and West Ham a few years ago, that wanted him for 20-25 mil. We said no because we thought at that time he was worth 40 mil, which is fucking bullshit, bruv. Yeah, it's that fucking the fish and chips cartel that David Dean was talking about. Big up David Dean, big up PFC as well, TV, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? That fucking cartel that David Dean was talking about and the cash flow problems. See, I wasn't hearing the cash flow problem part initially, but once I listened, do you know what I'm saying? And the way he broke it down, I was like,
there's a cash flow problem now, though. I don't know if you guys saw this article that ESPN put out. The debt in the Premier League across all the clubs went up 600% this year. The debt. These teams don't have the money the way that they're saying because they're borrowing against where it's going to come crashing down, and you're going to see some shit hit the fan with some of these teams right now. Because funny enough, Manchester United got Tielemans for 31 million, but magically nobody's talking about that the Ederson deal fell apart.
Belabor as well. They wanted Belabor, didn't get him because they weren't willing to pay 70 to 100 mil at the time or whatever. And then,
not only that, because again, I think this whole talk about a $300 million war chest for both Arsenal and Manchester United is starting to fall on deaf ears because it's starting to prove that it's bullshit. I'm sorry. If you got 100 million and Bruno Guimaraes is going to be your big signing, get the fucking deal done. What are we dicking around for?
Or go elsewhere, bruv. If you want to go cheaper and get better, it can be done. That's fine.
Yeah.
And again, what happened to fucking Project Youth, bruv? We've got Nichols as young centre-back. We already let go, not even sold. We let go Heaven and the other guy to Man United.
Chido Obi Martin to Manchester.
Yeah. There was another one as well. We've still got Salmon as like cover for right back. Could probably play left back as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Big
Project Youth and all that. Big up Carl Walsh.
Big up Carl, the legend, man. Nice to see you.
In a minute. I hope you're enjoying your summer, brother. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, same here, man. Like, but for me, it's very fucking simple. If there are actually cash flow problems that we've got, as well as all the other Premier League teams right here, right now, then okay, cool. It is what it is. Bite the fucking bullet. So I'll give you an example. I want Madueke out that fucking door now, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Fucking now. If someone comes in 20, 30 mil, let's say 20 mil, for Madueke, and they're willing to match the wages, or we don't need to cover his wages for whatever team wants to buy him, take that. I would take that fucking deal like that, bruv, Same with Martinelli, If we sell Martinelli for 10 mil, 15 mil, we still make money off of him. Do you know what I'm saying? But the cartel think, he's worth 50 mil. No one's paying that money. Same with Odegaard. No one's paying 50, 60, 70 mil for Odegaard, even after the World Cup, and it ain't even been all that. What did he do against England? He did fuck all, bro. He did fuck all.
He got 4 assists in the World Cup.
Player.
Don't forget, he got 4 assists in the World Cup. That's what our fan base is doing.
Sorloth is getting slotted. Sorloth is getting destroyed, getting death threats and shit because he didn't pass the ball to Erling Haaland on that one breakaway that they had. Yet the whole time, this motherfucker is passing the ball and then running away and not doing shit as a number 10. I'd be more pissed at Martin Odegaard stat padding bullshit and not showing up when you needed him.
He passes the ball sideways. All the time I see him
passing the ball sideways. When he takes a shot, it's as if he's passing the ball to the fucking keeper.
I'll tell you what, yeah, Berta, you need to have a serious word with Arteta. You, him, Michele, and now Alonso, you need to all be in a room, whether it's now or next week once the World Cup's over, yeah? Because once the World Cup's over, there's no more fucking excuses. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no more fucking excuses, right? You four need to sit down, go through the whole entire fucking squad and be like, who do you want to keep? And then we discuss, do you know what I'm saying? And then we look at who you want to bring in, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to utilize them, whether we rate them or not, get fucking rid. Yeah. Do what it takes to get them out the door so we don't have to pay them wages. We free it up. Our debt becomes a lot less. Maybe if we do it right, we can get to a point where it's pretty much standing clear. And we're not in the red when it comes to the wages.
Go stat here. The other way you can compete is stacking a team up with talent. I'm not going to listen. I don't want 230 million pounds to be spent on just Bruno Guimaraes and Morgan Rogers. And then we're left with 70 fucking million trying to figure out how to get as many pieces as possible. Yeah. I'd rather you go out, spend big money on one player and build an actual fucking squad so that now you have plenty of bodies to go after all the fucking talent, to go after all the trophies that you want, that you're trying to go after. That's the reason why, for me, I'm looking at this from a situation of, okay, if Villa's going to ask 130 million pounds for Rodgers, why don't I go to fucking Everton and see if I can get Njai for 50 million fucking pounds? And then I'm going to go to fucking West Ham and ask what's going to be the price tag for Jared Bowen or Somerville or both.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm looking at this. I don't think this whole, let's hold out. For what?
If you're going to hold out, you might as well go for other... See, this is what I would do. There's two routes you could go with this, yeah? Because I want Morgan Rogers. We all rate him and whatever. Let's say it's 120 mil, yeah? We come to an agreement, right? Because we've got Berta and all that shit. We just won the league. We need to flex our muscles, you know, somehow, some way. You know, like... It is what it is, right? So let's say we sign Morgan Rogers for 120 mil. Don't get Bruno G. Don't get any Barcola. None of that shit, yeah? From the Morgan Rogers signing, the rest of that money should be building the squad, and then anything extra comes from selling them scrubs. When it comes to Jesus, for example, if no one's willing to take him, yeah, for 5-10 mil, whatever, just rip up his contract. Do the same thing with Tomiyasu, bruv. Just get the wages off the bill. With Kai Havertz, as piss poor as he is, someone will pay 20 odd mil, give or take, yeah? Maybe even 10 mil. Take the money. Just get him off the wages.
I've said that for the longest.
Odegaard the same, bro. Martinelli the same. And Martinelli will make money. We'll make money with Martinelli.
Martinelli, you'll make money. Martinelli was only 7 million. His books are paid off.
Exactly.
Martinelli is nothing but money.
He should be gone, bro. He should be gone.
Brother, Martinelli should be on the market right now for 40 million. It's 9 million in salary. You're technically making 50 million on Martinelli. It's a win. Move on. Get the fuck out of here. Move on to the next one. For JCG, listen, here's the thing. None of the number 10s have been great, but again, I'm putting that down to the manager.
Yeah.
We have gone, you can track this. When we played the fluid 4-3-3, Odegaard was getting assists. Andy was getting goals. We cannot take that away from Odegaard. It is factually true. Those 2 seasons he was playing pretty well. The problem is the style of play changed. The whole team had to get more defensive and less goal scoring, which is why we are in the situation we are in. Here's the problem. You could bring Morgan Rogers to Arsenal. Morgan Rogers is not going to put up the numbers that he's put up at Aston Villa if he's going to be asked to do defensive work the way Eze, Odegaard, and Havertz have all been asked to do in that number 10 position. It's just not going to work. You have to allow the number 10 more forward, which is why that has been the issue with Odegaard's numbers in particular going to shit, which is the reason why I'm saying that we need to beef up and change the playing style that we have. We're not going to be, again, I think, what was it? PFC just said it here. He goes, and we said this earlier, PFC, I would be all over Lacroix right now to get him in with considering Saliba's being injured. You got to get a good player, especially because, again, whether it's PSG, whether it's Real Madrid or whoever, I personally don't think Saliba will stay at Arsenal. I think if anybody's going to stay, it'll be Gabriel. Because Gabriel knows he'll be in line for the captain's armband if once Saliba goes. Saliba, for me, I think is the long-term captain for Arsenal, but I don't think he's going to be I don't think he stays, to be quite honest. I think he's got Real Madrid or PSG all over him. Javi, I hear you with this. Too many egos. The problem is this. Jared Bowen, to me, isn't an ego player like that. He does not come off as an ego player. He's at West Ham. You're walking into Arsenal. It's a completely different situation now, walking into the club. Same reason why I said the same thing with looking at guys like Njai and Somerville. Somerville and Njai have not taken off to where they should be having superstar egos. I'm sorry, they shouldn't. If you come to Arsenal and you guys are in a battle with yourselves, plus Martinelli and Saka for starting positions, plus the youth, you win those starting positions, and then you become the new full-time starters for Arsenal. Now you can allow a little bit of an ego because the egos of the other players have been shattered and they have to rebuild themselves. Again, there's a fine line of having too many egos, but also needing competition. Martinelli and Saka know they're walking into starting that position every single time. They all know it, which is part of the problem. You need the competition amongst
it's a massive problem, which is why, like we said earlier, Gianni, it's just like I don't see Arteta playing the same way. Because if I was him, right, as an outside, sort of not even shot in the dark, but basically, do you know what I would do? I don't know who put that comment in for like number 10, because yes, Ebrieza, along with all the Joseph, yeah, okay, that was it, yeah, big up Joseph, yeah. Do you know who I would bring in just for a year? Yeah, just for a year, like, and there's someone for the younger players to look up to, as long as if Arteta plays remotely that 22-23 ball, but allows the number 10 to be the number 10, none of this pressing bullshit. If it means we drop back a bit deeper, I'd rather that. I'd rather just drop back a bit rather than do the high pressing shit. No. Fuck all of that. If you want to sit back, that's fine. And then we hit on the counter and have proper players, like we said earlier at the start, fucking tech. Do you know who I would bring for 1 year at number 10? I don't know where he's playing right now, but he won't cost that much because of his age, yeah? I'd bring in James Rodriguez for 1 year. Just for 1 year. As backup. I don't care, bro. I don't fucking care, bro. I know it sounds crazy, Gianni, and we agree and disagree on certain players, and that's cool. It's not
what he's been doing.
But for 1 year, I'd take him right here, right now.
Bro, with
back
what
once again for the Renegade Master with the ill behavior, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? All day, every day.
Bro, with what he's been doing at this World Cup, it is an absolute travesty that every World Cup he turns up, and for some reason nobody wants the guy. I'm sorry. This is what I mean by the way football changed. He was left behind by the way football is played now. Because
Could you imagine him behind Gyökeres? Could you imagine him behind Gyökeres, bruv?
That's what he was missing on fucking Colombia. Both them bums couldn't score a fucking goal to save their ass.
Luis Suarez, bruv. Luis Suarez, World Cup, yeah, pinnacle for Colombia. Yeah, it's all well and good doing it for Sporting, yeah. But even when he played us, he played well, but he wasn't doing what he was doing before. Do you know what I'm saying?
He couldn't. He just couldn't finish off his dinner, and that's why
Imagine James Rodriguez. Imagine James Rodriguez, yeah, just sitting in that 10, and you got fucking, let's say we get Rodgers, right? And then Bukayo Saka, and if he's, obviously we know he's not fit, even an Ethan or a Max Dowman, bruv, on the right, yeah? We get rid of Martinelli or whatever, or we bench fucking Madueke, we sell his Bomber Clark, the not so brave little toaster, innit? The pussy old toaster, bruv. But like, we get like a Morgan Rogers on the left, or we get an Njai from Everton, yeah? And bearing in mind, James Rodriguez used to play for Everton at one point in time. Do you know what I'm saying? Just him sitting there, supplying the service to Gyökeres and then man there, keeping the ball, actually showing the whole fan base what a number 10 actually is. Not fucking Gibraltar guard, bruv. Yeah. Not that fucking useless dosser. Fuck him.
He got into it with the manager because of exactly what we're talking about. It wasn't the fact that he flopped. He got into it with the manager because, again, he's an old school 10. He's not going to press like that. Yeah, that was the whole reason why they got rid of him.
And he'll rip Arteta a new one, bruv, as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Ozil is one thing, but James, after the documentary and all of that, like he still got it, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously at a much lower pace, but you saw what Leo Messi, James Rodriguez, even Neymar, a little bit here and there. I know he's retired from Brazil, and then you got Cristiano's done, but even then he got his few goals here and there. Portugal's a fucking mess, but like the old players for the most part have turned up this tournament.
Yeah.
Again, it's the tech.
Yep.
It's the tech, bro.
Technical ability will beat pace and power any day of the week.
Forever,
all the
bro.
time. You see it
Forever.
all the time. Are you happy with Man United transfer window so far as a rival? I think the Tielemans signing was very smart by United. I wanted Tielemans at Arsenal. I've been saying if we can't get Bruno G, go to Aston Villa and weaken Villa and go get Tielemans. So I think the Tielemans signing is very smart. I have no idea why you signed Andre Santos. I don't think that guy is that good of a midfielder, if I'm being quite honest with you. Maybe you could get something out of him. I think that's something that we have to wait and see. Big up Binks.
But it's the manager, bro. It's Carrick.
Binks, message me on Instagram. I'll send you to a ton of places to where you're doing your trip in Italy. I'll take care of you.
Just very quickly, Gianni, like the thing is with Man United, right? It's all down to how Carrick manages Man U being back in the Champions League and all that shit.
Yeah,
whoever they buy from here on out,
Yeah, so. I think here's the thing for me. I have not done enough studying into why the Ederson deal fell apart. I think that's a bad move by United because Tielemans and Santos is the jury's still out on him. We all know Tielemans is a very good midfielder. So Tielemans I like. Tielemans and Kobe Mainu for me will most likely be the two guys slugging it out for the technical middle position, the technical side of the two-man pivot, if that's the way that Carrick's going to play, right? If not, if Carrick is going to go, because I think it'll be a defensive midfielder, Tielemans / Mainu, and Bruno Fernandes in the number 10 role. I think that'll be how that midfield is going to go. Now, the Ederson deal, I don't know why it fell apart, but I think Ederson is a very good defensive midfielder. I think that Ederson would do a very good job at Manchester United because he did a very good job at
Atalanta.
At Atalanta.
Yeah.
Very, very good job at Atalanta. And he's been in a 3-4-3 formation with a high press and has done a very good job at his time there. So for me, I think Ederson would be a very good addition to Manchester United if they got him back on. Now, if you're telling me that you're running it back and you're going to be splitting Tielemans and Mainu as the midfield too, you're going way too tech and don't have enough physicality, in my opinion, to be the type of person that you're going to need winning the second balls and everything else. Those two guys I don't think will be able to work if that's going to be your midfield trio is going to be Tielemans, Mainu, and Fernandes. I don't think it'll work out that way. I think you need a defensive midfielder, so we'll see how that goes. I think if United have the money the way that they're claiming, I would make the move on Adam Wharton. Now, if you tell me your midfield is going to be Wharton, Tielemans, and Bruno Fernandes, now we're talking a different story here with Manchester United. I still think United also need a left winger, although unless Carrick is going to be able to figure out how to put an arm around Marcus Rashford to convince him to stay as the left winger now for Man United because Carrick's there, I don't know. But I think you guys need a left winger because I don't believe in this Mateus Cunha as a winger. I just don't believe in it.
Nah, he's never been a win. To be honest, I think Man United need to kind of get to the point where they need to move on from Bruno Fernandes because I know Bruno Fernandes, you can talk about the 21 assists, when he was getting goals before CR7 rocked up and all of that shit, yeah? I hear it, but at the same time, it's just like you could actually play Kobe Mainu in the 10. If you bought Adam Wharton and then you had Tielemans on the other side and then you had Kobe Mainu at the 10, I think that would work a lot more because with Bruno Fernandes, right, yeah, if you play him a bit deeper, yes, he'll do the defensive work and he'll press and all of that shit. He'll spray the balls here and there, but you know, most of them aren't going to come off. Some of them will, but most of them won't. In it, and it can, you know, disrupt the attack. But when Bruno Fernandes is on the edge of the box, you know, and he's a set piece option, and he's getting in and amongst the goals, that's when he becomes more effective. But again, Bruno Fernandes as well. He's what, 30 now? He's 30 odd. Like, you know, he's getting on a little bit. So like, and there were talks with him going Saudi, which I think fell apart as well. And when it comes to, you know, he's not been great in the World Cup either. He's definitely not set it alight. He hasn't been that bad, but he ain't been that great either. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. But I think there's options either side for both United. Like if I was Man United, and my cousin's a Man United fan as well, I would get Conceição as a winger. If you want to go for a winger, I would go Conceição, bro. I would take him at Arsenal, bro. Never mind Man United. Like,
listen, I would take Conceição. I'd take Conceição in a fucking heartbeat. He only went to Juve for 30 million.
Yeah. And how did Roberto Martinez start off with what was that guy's name?
Pedro Neto.
Yeah, Pedro Neto head of Conceição is beyond me. That
Even
Roberto
put
Martinez
Felix on the wing, bruv. He put João Felix on the wing. He's never a winger, bruv.
Don't forget, Trincao was on the bench and he played Rafael Leao.
See, now that's somebody I'm pissed off. You know, he went to Al Ahly. He went to Saudi. Saudi came and bought him from Sporting. That's somebody. See, like, this is what I mean. I would have taken Trincao at Arsenal.
Yeah,
I would have taken him at Arsenal to be a rotation guy. And hell, even if he isn't a rotation guy, he's a better fucking number 10 than Odegaard is.
Oh, easily.
So again, like the fact that Trincao moved to fucking Al Ahly and has gone to fucking there has pissed me off as far as that. Looking up on the Ederson thing, they weren't happy with a knee injury that he sustained last season, but apparently United is going back in for him with some other tests being done, from what my understanding is as far as that. So it sounds like Ederson is going to go to United. Listen, Ederson and Tielemans is a good signing. It's a start. I think you guys need a left winger. And if anybody, to be honest with you, the guy who I think Manchester United need to fucking get rid of is that goddamn Luke Shaw. They need to be in the market for a Tyreek Mitchell or a Lewis Hall potentially. But I think if you put Tyreek Mitchell at United with the signings they've made and add a left winger, then I would be a believer more that United's going to be fighting in the top 4, but even more so top 3 next season.
Challenging for a league title, because we were hearing it from all United fans, especially the London United fans, bro. I'm not going to lie, they pissed me off. Like, look, I know you're meant to hate us. I know you're meant to hate Arsenal and all of that, yeah? You were seething when we won the league title, right, yeah? But if you're saying, yeah, that you're going to challenge, yeah, okay, cool. But then you got to make them signings. If it's not Tyreek Mitchell, and I really don't want it to be Tyreek Mitchell, then it's Lewis Hall. I think the ideal scenario for both clubs is like, I think it would be better for Lewis Hall to go Man United, because Man United are going to be more attacking than we are anyway, even if we do go more attacking. And I think Tyreek Mitchell, because Arteta's more pragmatic anyway, but we've seen him adapt and willing to give the players freedom to go and attack, would be better for us. Do you know what I'm saying? That would be the ideal scenario. And then whether it's a Morgan Rogers, whether we get a Conceição, I don't want Rafa Leao, because even though he's got a bit of ability, the guy's mad inconsistent, bruv. The guy is mad inconsistent. Yeah.
AC Milan want 80 million for that fucking bum. Get the fuck out of here.
No chance. He's not that good. That
guy hasn't been good since the 22-23 season, bro. He hasn't been good for going on 4 fucking years. He's been inconsistent as shit.
And he's not. And he's definitely not tracking back. And he's definitely not doing all the other, work where it could make up for his inconsistencies. Because remember, we've just sold Trossard, right? Yeah. Would you rather have Trossard or Rafa Leao? I'd rather have Trossard, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when he turns up, he turns up. With Rafa Leao, remember, who were Portugal playing, Was it Croatia? Where he put that ball in That was the
Yeah, it
only
was
thing he did
Croatia
the
and
whole
Gonçalo
tournament.
Ramos scored the winning goal.
He'll either beat a man or two,
He did
or put
absolutely
one
nothing.
great ball. Yeah, he'll either
Those-
beat
Well,
a man or two,
on
or
top
put
of
one
that-
great ball, and that was it. That was it.
Well, on top of that, he was dog shit he's been dog shit for AC Milan for damn near 3 fucking seasons. Three seasons. He's been dog shit.
Yeah.
Why would you? This is the thing that I don't get. Like with people who talk about fucking Rafael Leao, the man hasn't shown up in 3 fucking years. He thought he was getting a big move after his back-to-back season where he won AC Milan the Scudetto, and then he helped get AC Milan to the semifinal of the Champions League. He thought he was getting a big move. He didn't get a big move. The guy's been a pouty little bitch for 3 fucking years. Hasn't done shit in Italy since then. And again, how are you going to ask 80 million for a guy who's supposed to be the marquee guy at AC Milan, but magically allowed AC Milan to fall from second place into the Europa League? I'm sorry. No, the guy doesn't show up when it fucking matters.
Yeah, which is why another reason why I'm glad we never got Vlahovic, and even to a degree as well, getting fucking Jonathan David on a free, bruv. We definitely dodged a bullet with that shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Canada,
we also
Canada did so well. Canada did so well. Fuck that Marsh. Fuck Jody Marsh, whatever the fuck his name is.
Jesse Marsh.
Jesse Marsh, yeah, whatever that cunt's name is, right? Yeah. Fuck him, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? All that talk, yeah. And what have you done, yeah? No Alphonse Davis, yeah. And you see what one in it. And again, he ain't all that as well.
He called Rafael Leao the Timo Rashford.
Hey, look. It's a fair comparison. Because I remember when Rashford was tearing it up here and there. But again, mad inconsistent. He's got the ability. Rafael Leao's got a bit of ability. But I don't care how much ability you got, or whether you got a bit or not. Can you turn up? Do you know what I'm saying? The reason why I would give, for example, a Vinny Jr., who I think has less ability to a degree, but he turns up, bruv. He's got the elite fucking mentality. Yes, he's PMP, but he turns up, bruv. Yes, he costs a lot more, but he turns up, bruv. I'll take a Vinny over Rafael Leao any day. Any day. Even after, you know, watching the World Cup and that, like, Vinny Jr., how many goals did he score? What, like 3? Was it 3 goals? They were all important goals for Brazil to get as far as they did. As shit as they were, bruv.
Yep.
You know, didn't utilise Neymar because obviously he weren't fit and, you know, coming towards the end, whatever, yeah? Like, I didn't like what he did at the end, like, you know, scoring the pen, okay, cool, but come on, mate, the game was done. Yeah? Come on. But again, like you said, Gianni, all the ability on the planet, yeah? Mentality. Do you know what I'm saying?
Joseph, with this, I think Anthony Gordon's going to end up stat stuffing to where people are going to think he's better than he is. I personally am wondering, though, with these links that Ferran Torres might go to PSG, if Anthony Gordon's going to get put in as this other weird false 9 for Barca. I don't know. But
he's not good enough to play false 9. Sorry to cut you off, Johnny. For me, he's not good enough to play false 9.
I don't think he is.
Neither is Ferran Torres, but Ferran Torres is better than Gordon. Like,
correct.
On the ball anyway.
The question is where is Hansi Flick going to see him out playing? Because like Rashford got decent minutes and did well at the left wing, but Rashford has way more technical ability than Anthony Gordon does. Anthony Gordon is a pace and power merchant. That's all he is. So unless Anthony Gordon seriously brushes up on his skills with the ball, which he's going to have to now that he's going.
Oh yeah, he'll get destroyed in 2 touch, especially when because it looks like Spain are going to win the World Cup. Yeah, imagine him with like Thurman, even the players that are pretty good, like Pedri, fucking Lamine Yamal. Like, imagine him against Lamine Yamal, bruv. Yeah, not even 1-on-1, just like 2 touch, bruv.
But see, that's
in the ball.
Like the situation that I'm looking at is saying, that's what I'm saying, where he's going to be a stat stuffer. You look at the way Lamine Yamal's playing, and now you're putting yet again another fucking winger on the wing that's got crazy pace. Because Gordon is fast. Let's get it right. Gordon is very fast. You look at the ball playing ability that Lamine Yamal has. Are they going to try to utilize Gordon's pace in behind the back line with his ball playing ability? Especially because we don't know the severity of Rafinha's injury. So I don't know what the situation is going to be with that.
And he had a shocking World Cup, bruv, as well. Even before the injury, he was poor, man. Yeah, I know he had a good season for Barcelona, but like for Brazil, he was shocking.
I think it's going to come down
69 million for Gordon is kind of crazy, though. He ain't worth 69 million pounds.
He ain't worth 50.
No,
he ain't.
He's barely worth 30, bro. He's barely worth 30.
Newcastle spent that much money on Anthony Gordon because it was trying to sell what wasn't there. Okay, here's the thing. At the end of the day, big up LFC Monster for hopping in. The problem is this: Newcastle was sold a dream that if they could get their finances put into a situation to where they could potentially build up, Newcastle may be allowed to start spending money. They're not doing that. Unless Newcastle builds an extension to St. James Park, they're going to need to get a new stadium, build it huge so that then they have infrastructure to start spending money with the big boys. We all know they have the richest owners. Their owners make Manchester City owners look broke. We all know that they got the richest owners. But the problem is the politics involved with financial fair play and everything else. So Newcastle is a project that is never going to get off the fucking ground because of the fact that they don't have the money to spend where they need to spend it. They spent that big money to try to get players in to see where they could go with it. Yes, they got a League Cup out of it, but again, you look at what you're doing here now. You spent 70 million on Tonali to get him from Milan. You sold him for 100 million. You were going to get near that amount of money for Tonali either way, as far as that. You got a fucking huge upgrade the fact that Barcelona was dumb enough to come and buy Anthony Gordon for the way that he was, because Gordon, for me, has not improved that much as far as a technical player from where he was as a youngster at Everton to now at Newcastle.
I think he's got worse, and I'll tell you why he's got worse.
You said it before I did.
Because if you look at what's his face, if you look at Eddie Howe, and look, I like Eddie Howe as a manager. Yeah, I rate him, but he's reached his ceiling, bruv. He can't do any more at Newcastle. So the question is with Newcastle, because I hear talks of if they don't reinvest that 170 mil so far, and that's depending whether they get the 100 mil from Bruno G. But let's say, for argument's sake, we pay that money stupidly, even though I rate him, but it's just like, let's say they've got 270 mil, right? Yeah. They have to build that squad properly just to even make sure they're not even in a relegation battle or even remotely close to that, like they were last season. This season just gone. Do you know what I'm saying? They have to rebuild that squad, because fair play to Wissa. Wissa done well in that World Cup. You know, it's Congo. It is what it is. Yeah, he done well. But again, one player doing well, because Isak, it was like he's got ability, but
he needs to straighten out this year.
Yeah, and then they sold him, of course. Yeah.
Wissa can't have another shit season in Newcastle again. He's got to score goals this year.
Oh, 100%. But then, like, with whether it's 170 mil or 200 plus mil, they have to reinvest that squad. And to be honest, don't be surprised, Don't be surprised if Eddie Howe doesn't last as long as Newcastle. And at some point down the line, he'll probably end up getting the England job or something. Because for me, I think that's the next place for him to go. Like, unless he gets because to be honest, I don't even think he gets a job at a big club. Do you know what I'm saying?
Getting relegated.
I think his best bet is England.
Getting relegated, but if this happens, I can see Newcastle United getting relegated this season.
No, not this season.
I don't think they will, because they'll reinvest.
Had they gotten Europe? Had they gotten Europe, I would have said that there's a possibility of them getting relegated with the way they're losing players. The problem for me is I think Newcastle has a good enough squad as it is right now for one game a week that they'll still be fighting for, like, the Europa League or the Europa Conference League spot. Because again, when you look at it, here's the thing. I think that I don't think Brighton, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, or Sunderland are going to be in the conversation for any of the Europa spots come the end of the season. I don't think none of the four. If any of them is going to be there, it may be Palace out of them, because Saj the guy who they signed from RC Lawns is a decent manager. So I can entertain Crystal Palace a little bit, but I do not think that Bournemouth is going to be there. I don't think Brighton's going to be there, and I don't think Sunderland's going to be there. I just don't see that happening. I still think Eddie Howe.
Brighton have lost too many players, and Sunderland have only just got there. Like Bournemouth, if let's say they sold
Marco Rose is going to play a completely different brand of football, though.
Yeah,
Marco Rose is going to be playing strictly counterattack, defensive pragmatic.
But that's why they need that Krupi money. They need that Alex Scott money and all of that shit to reinvest.
See,
that's the only way they're going to get remotely far in that tournament.
If they pulled that off, if they were able to sell them 2 kids for 180 million, you could then go out and get 6-7 kids that are somewhat proven in different leagues to bring in and take a chance like that on the amount of money. But the problem is that that's not going to happen. Nobody's spending that fucking money on them kids. They're not. Nobody's going to spend 100-something million on this Alex Scott. If they do, they're fucking nuts.
Yeah, and even with Krupi, you see how the talk died down with Arsenal, and even with other clubs.
They 100 million, not after one fucking season.
1 goal, bruv, to secure our league title.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 100 million. Yeah, come on, man.
He ain't worth all that money. It's just the hype around these players. It's just kind of
because they're young. That's why. To this LSC, from what my understanding is with this whole thing with Inter and Curtis Jones, is Inter is trying to cut around the edges as much as they can, because you have to remember Inter and AC Milan both took on the ownership of the San Siro now. So that money that they spent on buying the San Siro leading into this next stadium is going against the books with the amount of money that they were given by Oaktree. So they're going to fuck around a little bit. I still think Inter's going to come and get the 30 million for Curtis Jones. I don't think they're going to be that cheap, because there isn't that many cheap options in Italy right now as far as players that they can go after.
I'll tell you what, very quickly, Gianni, if I was Berta, bruv, and obviously being Italian and all of that shit, why not just, go to Inter and just be like 70 mil, 75 mil for Barella, If Newcastle want to play hardball with Bruno
the
G for 100 mil, that's fine.
With the stupid shit that just happened with Bastoni, nobody's paying the 80 million for him. Not with all this bullshit that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
So now
it's done.
Yeah. You don't even know if the fucking kid's going to play. You don't know if the kid's going to get barred for a month or so. They have no idea what's happening with this fucking kid. So now, if you need the finances, Barella's your number one option.
Yeah.
For me, that's who I'm going to fucking get. Fuck Bruno Guimaraes. I'm going to get fucking Barella.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, cool.
Even 80 mil, I'd take it. I'd take it right now.
Brother,
right here, right now.
Two-time Champions League finalist, 3-time Scudetto winner. The man's won, I think, fucking 8,
He won the Euros as well with your lot.
He won the Euros with Italy.
Yeah.
Why'd you not go and buy Fede Valverde? Fede Valverde would be a good option.
Fuck, when you throw the European in, he's won damn near 10 titles in 5-6 years. The kid's experience. Go get the motherfucker. And he's younger than Guimaraes.
And he can he can adapt as well. He can adapt. And here's the thing. When you've got players that have got an engine, for example, in this particular case, like Nico Barella, right? Plus the tech, and we've seen with Tonali, and we've seen with Tonali how that's worked out. It's done very well for him, Newcastle. He'll do well enough at Tottenham, but if he does that well, he's not good. The one good thing about Tottenham getting these players, the odd players that ball out, they either get injured or they're not going to be there for that long. Do you know what I'm saying? So the reason why Maddison's been there for that long is, again, injury. Kulusevski, to a degree, injury. Kudos, he's good, but not as good. But again, injury. So with Tonali, if he does that well, bar injury, I don't think he'll be there that long either way, because we know what Spurs have been doing, bruv. Celebrating just staying up, bruv. Yeah. You better hope and pray. You better hope and pray you keep De Zerbi, bruv. Because after De Zerbi, you're done. I don't care how much money you got. That whole club, the fan base or whatever, I don't care about the infrastructure. If you don't have the mentality, you've seen it with us, innit? How long it took us to win a league title, For them to win a trophy, sack that manager, and then now you by some goddamn miracle, and you had to pay a fucking fortune to him as well, 15 plus mil. And look, fair play to De Zerbi, bruv. Fair play, innit? It is what it is, yeah.
I love to see my fellow Italians eat.
Yeah, he can do no wrong at Tottenham, bruv. Tottenham are at his mercy. Because if another club, yeah, Italian or not, doesn't matter where, in Europe, in the world, whatever, if another club offers the same money or more and they're in a better position, yeah, you think he's not gonna? Yeah, exactly. You think he's not gonna just bounce just like that?
This motherfucker not only cashed out. This is how stupid Tottenham is in this situation. They not only gave him 12 million. Roberto De Zerbi cashed out and has the best of both worlds. Either you're going to do well with Spurs and you get Spurs back into a Champions League contention per se, right? Either you get them back there. Potentially, it'd be even worse if De Zerbi does that and gets them to win like a League Cup or an FA Cup. Or you get to rob 12 million for Spurs. They bought players. They don't show up and say, it's Spurs, and still probably get an offer at a bigger club down the line if he did well. So that for me, I think is the whole situation as far as that. So listen, for De Zerbi, he was a smart one for this. Damien, yeah, I saw Lewandowski just touched down. He is a member of the Chicago Fire. So funny enough, my pure spoiler, I'll be putting the videos up when we actually go. My girl fucking beat me to it. She bought the tickets. So we're going to see Chicago Fire versus Inter Miami. So we'll see Lewandowski and Messi in Chicago.
Against Leo Messi, yeah. And all of them ones there. Jordi Alba and that, if he's still playing baskets.
Lewandowski versus Suarez, you know?
Suarez as well. Yeah.
Listen, Joseph, Bruno G won't be a backup for the 100 million. He'll be the starting.
Hell no. Not for that money.
He'll be the starting 8. He'll be the starting 8 if he comes to Arsenal. He won't be the backup. I think, like I said, it'll be Rice and Bruno G. The reason why, like to what Natster said, for me personally, if you're going to spend that much money, I'm taking Barella over fucking Bruno G. One, Barella can do the dirty work and play the number 6 role. We've seen it at Inter for 6 years now that he has no problem of doing that when he has to take up the mantelpiece for it. Not only that, technically, he is just as good as Bruno G, in my opinion. Especially,
I think he's better.
You said it. Listen, you don't watch City.
And he's a better penalty taker as well. He's a better penalty taker as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, he's a better leader too.
Yeah,
he's a better fucking leader.
And he's younger as well. And it'll cost less. Like, what more do you want? Oh, but he's small. He's small. Like, get the fuck out of it. I don't care about the height, bro. I'm not one of them bad bitches. Fuck all of that shit, bro. I don't care about the fucking height. Yeah. If you're a baller, bro. Yeah. We've seen midgets in midfield mash up work, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? We've seen plenty. Kante for one. Do you know what I'm saying? There was another one. Obviously, you got the Makaleles back in the day. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, more defensive and all of that shit, but still mashing in work. What is it, Lasana Diarra? I swear he's a fucking midget, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? What, 5'7"?
That motherfucker had the Marvin the Martian head. His head was fucking.
Yeah, you look at fucking Santi Cazorla. He's a proper midget. But one of the best I've ever fucking seen in my life, bro.
Exactly.
But he's not a centre back, bro. Like, centre backs have to be tall, they're not midfielders.
And all of that shit, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Mashing up the team.
PFC goes, forgot to ask you what you make of Maldini getting appointed to the. Listen, Maldini getting appointed to the FA is massive, but again, it's going to come down to, are the old bureaucratic greaseball idiots going to keep fucking around? Because it doesn't matter who you get put in as the president. If everything in between is going to stay in the gray area and Italy isn't going to progress, it's not going to mean anything. Now, do I think Maldini will go in with the best intentions? 100%. I don't think. I think Maldini, if given the proper backing of what needs to be done for Italy to progress as an overall country with the sport, I think you can't ask for a better person than Maldini, because look at the position Maldini with Masada did for AC Milan. The president of AC Milan fucked everything up because he fired Maldini and the ownership wanted to be cheap. And you've seen what's happened to AC Milan since Maldini's left. So for me, I think Maldini with Malago is a very good start. The question is there everybody else going to get in line? Like, one of the reasons why I still have my skeptics is, why in God's name is Antonio Conte or Andrea Pirlo even being looked at as for the national team manager is a catastrophe. I'm sorry. It's just another fucking catastrophe. Either go get Baldini, who has been the interim manager right now, or go get the best in class. And the best in class, whether anybody likes it or not, is Roberto Mancini. Sorry. Whether you like the man left.
Run it back.
The man left the national team. Everybody said at the beginning of the season, I was fucking nuts for talking about Mancini being a good manager. And guess what? He won the fucking league again. He won another league title again this year. And if it wasn't for losing to Kobe, he knocked out Al Hilal, who was the favorite. Shout out to my boy Zier. Al Hilal was arguably the favorite to win the Asian Champions League, and they got beat by Roberto Mancini's team in penalties. I'm sorry.
He's getting this as well. So,
exactly.
But not that he needs it. Not that he needs it.
He don't.
But to the point you were saying about the legendary Paolo Maldini, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And
but imagine manage your new front three. You got a new president in Malago who is saying all the right things right now. Now you got Maldini in the same position that he was at AC Milan. He's the technical director of the Italian FA now. So now you got him in the same position, but with Italy. And his mind is, like I said, you've seen him be the guy behind the turnaround of AC Milan. Because AC Milan went to shit.
Yeah.
AC Milan had the hardest out of all the big teams that have fallen over the years. AC Milan had the hardest fall out of all of them. The way what they were with Maldini as a player, I mean, a lot of people forget the last trophy they won was the league title under Massimiliano Allegri. They didn't win another title for 4 or 5 years after that. That was the last title of the whole run of AC Milan that they had. After that, they went to shit. Maldini turned that around and the ownership got cheap, and that's why Milan's gone back into a fuck-off team again.
Also bear in mind, right, the next World Cup, is in Portugal, Spain, and Morocco. Mediterranean. We know Italia, for the most part, Mediterranean. Do you know what I'm saying? The weather, everything else, the culture. I know it's more southern, but parts, but still, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying, innit?
Yeah.
It's like you cannot afford. I think you guys will make the Euros, but you can't afford to miss out on a 4th World Cup in a row. Not even England have done that. As shit as we've been over the years, like obviously recently we're competing. Obviously we're nowhere near the Spains and the Frances and Argentina recently and all of that. That's fair enough. But when we didn't make the Euros in 2008, it was a fucking meltdown. When we didn't make it in 94, bruv, which was in the States, ironically, do you know what I'm saying? This is our first World Cup in the America. Well, in the United States, obviously you got Canada as well. But we played all our games in the States bar one, which was the
Mexico City.
Yeah. So other than one, we played all our games in the States for the first time in a major tournament, basically in the World Cup. Italy can't go 4 years without it, especially it being closer to home. Do you know what I'm saying? At this point, Gianni, FIFA might just have to give you the World Cup, bruv. They might have to let you be the host, bruv. I'm not going to lie, bruv. At this rate, if they keep fucking up, they're probably going to, instead of Kuwait, they might have to give it to you guys, innit? They might have to Uno reverse that shit. Because this is getting beyond ridiculous.
The thing is,
with FIFA, you have bad players.
Like 64 teams. So they want to expand it to 64 teams.
I'm not a fan of the 48 team expansion.
No. It's too much. It's too much, bro. It's too much. And
now it's got to be 64 now. So maybe Gianni would be happy that Italy might be there. So that could be an extra space.
I have to be honest.
It's a good one.
I have to be honest. No offense, Johnny, and to all the other Americans and all that shit, but I don't want to see any 3, 4, 5 o'clock games. You know what I'm saying? I'm a night owl, but at the same time, even for me, it was too much. It was too much. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas if it's like
listen,
sort of in mainland Europe and all of that, like
I'm telling
you this,
anyway. Right, I'm telling you this right now. The only reason why the World Cup was put in the United States is so that Gianni Infantino can show all the different fucking FAs across Europe how they're fucking up in not making money like how it is in some of the American sports. I'm sorry. The only reason why the United States got this World Cup is that behind the scenes is so that the guys who run the Premier League, the guys who run La Liga, the guys who run the Serie A, and the Bundesliga and possibly the French league as well that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Again, I say this all the time. There's no way that the Premier League should be boasting that they get 600 million views on the big game on Sunday every weekend and you're only worth 9 billion. There's nothing to be proud about that. There's no way. You can't sit here and tell me that you get that many views and everybody talks about, oh, the Americans don't know what they're doing with all their sports, blah, blah, blah. Yet the NFL is completely self-sustainable just on the American market and does 21 billion a fucking year. The only reason the World Cup was brought here is to show everybody in Europe how to maximize the fucking money in the sport. That's the only reason why they were brought here. Only reason. You're seeing the difference.
Yeah.
You're seeing all these foreign fans. They can't believe the size of the fucking stadiums that they're playing in right now and how modern and up to date everything is. You know, you got guys talking about, oh, you're in how fucking hot it is in Texas, but then you go into a stadium, the stadium's completely air conditioned with a retractable fucking roof.
Like Houston as well, because Houston can get mad hot as well.
Exactly. That's the only reason, in my opinion, why FIFA chose the United States. They wanted to go to the United States so that all the different federations can start taking ideas from the Americans on how to maximize the amount of profit and maximize the sport in that area. Because again, there's no way if we go off of you could take half the United States or a third of the United States. If 120 million people every weekend for 17 weeks watch the NFL on a base and only, I think it's 16 teams out of the 32 or 33 go into the playoffs, yet it's a self-sustaining 21 billion plus model. There is no reason why the Premier League should not be making more money. And that's the whole reason for me why they chose.
And then you also go and look at the infrastructure as well. Like, it's not even like your main stadiums, like NFL you mentioned, for example. You got them, but then you got the college. We don't have a college system for football or rugby. It's nowhere near. It's not even 1%, bruv. It's not even 1%. You might have like at universities and other colleges and all of that. You might have maybe when it comes to a big game, and it's not even televised. It's streamed on YouTube, bruv. It weren't. It weren't on TV back in the day. Hardly, barely. Football or rugby. Do you know what I'm saying? But you get minuscule crowds. Like I'm talking. For big games like 500,
look at the
most that they had.
The Copa America that we hosted. Look at the Copa America that we hosted. We kept the Copa America games in all Latin-based cities, or majority Latin-based cities, and the stadiums were half fucking full. The only stadium that was filled was the final. Same thing when we hosted the Club World Cup. It was only down to like the quarterfinals and semifinals when all the big teams were still standing, more or less, that you saw the stadiums get bigger crowds. Then the final was fucking had a lot of people. This was only brought here because of the fact that they want the rest of the leagues to start learning how to market themselves the way the NFL is. It's all about money to why they came to
100%. The just very quickly, the biggest like sort of university, and this isn't even football, this is rugby, bro. The biggest crowd, that I've seen at a college level, university level, is Oxford Cambridge, bruv, at Twickenham, which is Southwest London, Southwest London, The biggest capacity, I believe, was like 70-odd thousand. Yeah. And it was televised. But they're not doing that anymore. They haven't had that shit for years, bruv. They never learn, bruv. They never learn. And that's rugby. That's not even football.
Right.
Even like they've never even really done that in football. And if they have, not for a long ass time.
No, they did it here. They did it here in the States.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
No, they did that here in the States with the size. If you remember, the University of Michigan, I believe, it was the University of Michigan hosted a friendly between Manchester United and Chelsea back when it was still Man United and Chelsea, and they sold out 120,000 people. The problem was with that scenario was it was in a fucking college town in Ann Arbor. And you had to put people inside Detroit. Now, no disrespect to Detroit, but Detroit is not a city that can handle that. It just isn't. It just isn't a city to do that. The cities that they've chosen, I mean, Kansas City is a little bit of a stretch because it's not a town that can really hold shit like that if you're looking at it from a major city. But overall, when you look at the way these cities and their sports teams have worked, it's a better market to show this off to the likes of London clubs. There's no, listen, don't think Arsenal isn't getting the idea from the Cronkies. They're like, well, if we can get 70,000 people in SoFi Stadium to sell out for the Rams, Arsenal's one of the biggest teams in the world as far as a club team, not just in England. You don't think we could potentially get more tourists to come to an Arsenal game and maybe up the ante up to 75,000 people? That's exactly what their fucking mind is. That's why, again, why the U.S. was chosen to do that. And again, you're getting the newer modern stadiums on this tour. You're not getting the biggest stadiums. The biggest stadiums are the college football stadiums. Michigan can hold 110,000 people. No problem. They do it every weekend when they got a home game.
Every weekend as well, bro.
Columbus, Ohio, where Ohio State plays. You could do that easy. You could do it. And Columbus is an actual fucking city that can somewhat hold it as well. Yeah, it's barely 1 million people and whatnot, but they have more infrastructure. But
again,
that's what
the
I'm saying.
infrastructure.
The whole reason why the World Cup went to America is so that they can take from what they're seeing from the Americans of everything has to be bigger with how we do shit when it comes to sports. They're taking that concept to try to preach it onto the Premier League. Just don't get it twisted. Everybody's asking why Newcastle's falling apart. The stadium size with the way Newcastle works, they don't fit enough people in there to start spending with the big boys. They just don't. And they're, again, you look at the U.S., and people are going to go there and be like, well, how much do you think it would cost us to do this instead of knocking down a whole stadium but renovating? Arsenal's doing the same. All these teams are doing the same thing. And for me, that's the exact reason why. They went to the U.S. to see how you're supposed to maximize money in sport. That's the whole reason why they put the World Cup over here. That's the only reason why we got it. Only reason. LFC, real quick on this, I do not want Pep as the national team manager. No team, unless England pull it off, no team has ever won a World Cup with a international manager.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
That's why we're not winning it. That's exactly part of the reason why we're not going to win it.
It's no disrespect to the greatness of Pep, but I'm sorry. Pep's brand of football is not going to fucking win you a tournament when he's only getting you for 6 days every 2 months to preach a brand of football. Unless Pep Guardiola is going to get the keys to Italy and he's going to influence all the youth academies to start playing his brand of football so then it doesn't matter, there's no reason to be hiring Pep.
You'd be better off with Arsene Wenger. I'm going to be real. Right now, you'd be better off with Arsene Wenger. Just coming in, every few months. He'll let the players, like the attacking players, the flair players, play. Do you know what I'm saying? You might not be as good defensively, but if you're scoring hella goals, bruv, do you know what I'm saying? Doing what Roberto Mancini was doing for your lot in Euro 2020/21 when you won the damn thing, I don't see why not in it. Arsene Wenger would be a better option for you than Pep. And Wenger ain't managed for a few years as well, so...
Yeah,
but surely Pep understands Italian, so doesn't he have not got an idea on how to?
You think Arsene Wenger don't speak a bit of Italian? Do you know what I'm saying?
Pep speaks Italian. He used to play on Brescia. He came to Italy back in the day and played. But the thing is, for me, is this, and again, it's the same thing with me with Jurgen Klopp. I don't think Klopp is going to make Germany that much better of a team. I really don't. Klopp's brand of football is everyday training. You can't just turn up 6 days out of 2 months and expect to be playing the heavy metal football that he played at Liverpool or at Dortmund. That's not going to fucking happen. I don't care how good Klopp thinks he is. 6 days every 2 months is not going to do that.
He's going to have to adapt. He's going to have to adapt.
The only way it works is if Klopp is going to go in ground level and they're going to do the same thing that Germany did when they re-preached everything that got them eventually to win the fucking World Cup. If you're going to go in ground level with the youth, okay, we're going to take Jurgen Klopp's brand of football and make this the new German way, and you're going to let Klopp be the manager for as long as fucking Joachim Löw was the manager for Germany. Unless you're going to do that, it's not going to work. Again, it's the same thing with Pep. You didn't get the brilliance of Manchester City because Pep only did shit every 6 days for 2 months. We all know Pep to be a control freak. You're not Pep at at a national team level is not going to work unless he is influencing the entire system. Big up Shabazz. I think Tonali's a decent midfielder, RSV. I'll disagree with you on that. Fernandez, I am not a buyer in. I 100% agree with you on that. And the fact that they spent $185 million, I think, is absolutely ridiculous. Is absolutely ridiculous. Paisano, Reno, my boy. Hope all is well with you and the family, man. Hope your move and everything went well. Hope everything is all good with you, brother. You guys are moving a little weird over there in Juventus. We'll see what ends up happening with Kolo Muani and everybody that you guys are linked to over there. But hope all is well, brother. Hope all is well.
Johnny, how do you think Allegri will start the season? How do you think he'll start the season?
I'm hoping that motherfucker's sacked by game 3.
Fez?
I legitimately hope that Allegri is sacked by the 3rd game of the season. I honestly don't understand why. I don't understand how he came in and even signed him. He's a fucking idiot. Like this is a bad situation right now with Napoli for him, in my opinion. A lot of great stadiums didn't get hosting rights, like the LA Raiders and stadiums, Soldier Field. Soldier Field, RSV wasn't going to get it. The problem is that when you take on a team, when you take on shit for the World Cup, a lot of cities do not make it in the green. A lot of cities take losses with having to try to knock down prices of stuff overall when you look at how stuff is supposed to go. And the city of Chicago is in too much debt to take a loss on for the World Cup. You're not going to make enough money in tax dollars with people buying booze in order to do it. Plus, you have to remember something. The stadiums, the ownerships of the stadiums are not making much money on these games. The only way they're making a lot of money on these games is if the fans are buying the merchandise of the actual sports team that's there. So when you look at it, Budweiser, for example, not all the stadiums across the United States that are hosting these games have rights to sell Budweiser. They're getting the rights through FIFA. FIFA keep the money on their specific sponsors when it comes to booze. So again, it's not all
Infantino, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's how it's always been with FIFA.
As I call infantile, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Infant.
Oh, Gianni Infantino's a fucking gangster. Ain't nobody telling me
that infant. He's that baby boss, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen that film, but he's that baby boss, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Infantile, bruv. Infantino, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Infantino knows what the fuck he's doing with the business. But here's if you remember. If you remember the World Cup in Brazil in 2014, Brazil outlawed alcohol sales in the stadiums in 2012. FIFA told Brazil to go fuck themselves. They have to reverse it for the World Cup. And they did because there are sponsorships that they have to sell to. So again, look, Coca-Cola, for example, even if you got rights, even if you're a Coke-based brand. So like in America, when you look at the different sports teams, they have to sign contracts with different soft drinks as far as like soda or pop. So like the Cubs, for example, in Chicago Cubs got Pepsi. They get all the Pepsi products. The White Sox got Coca-Cola. Once you brand up with one of them, you cannot start taking shit from the other. So like I forget which one breaks down where, but once you get like Coca-Cola, then all of a sudden now you got to get Sprite.
Or you got to get Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew.
Correct.
Do you know what I'm saying? And all of that.
So all them
sponsorships, bruv. Yeah.
Correct. All them sponsorship, naming rights, and all that crap is how the stadiums on their own make their money as they sign those deals for those drinks. When it comes to FIFA, it doesn't matter who you have. You have to go off of their sponsor. So say Chicago was a city and they wanted to put a World Cup game in Wrigley Field. Cubs ain't making no fucking money. Cubs have been Pepsi products since I was a fucking kid. They've only sold Pepsi. You're gonna be selling Coca-Cola. Like if you went to that game and you froze like a cup, the only Coca-Cola sold out of Wrigley Field, you would probably make money on that. Because I don't know the last time the Cubs ever had fucking Coca-Cola. They've always been a Pepsi team.
How big is how do you say Ridley or Wrigley Fields?
Wrigley
in
Field's
Chicago?
only 42,500 people.
Oh yeah, that's only slightly more than Highbury back in the day, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a baseball stadium. Baseball stadiums ain't that big.
Yeah.
But I'm just using it as the analogy.
Okay, but what about the where Chicago Fire play or where the Bears play?
Small.
Where the Bears play?
The Bears is 64,500 people.
Oh, okay, so that's bigger than the Emirates. Okay.
Yeah, but see, like Soldier Field's the smallest NFL stadium. That's the smallest stadium.
Okay.
But that's why I'm saying, like, when you look at the sponsorship deals, you have to abide by the rules of FIFA. So it's not all it's cracked up to be hosting a game. Like, you're hoping, like over here, like Boston, for example, Boston hit the fucking jackpot. They had the Scots for 10, 12 days straight, and then the British came right afterwards. So your wave of drinking never fucking stopped.
I swear they got the most expensive transport, like, or one of them, like right up there, Boston, especially during the World Cup. They spiked them fucking prices like sky high, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Boston ain't cheap, man. Even I know that because my folks went there. Was it back in the late 90s? 99? And they were telling me it weren't fucking cheap, bruv. They were amazed because London's expensive now, but it's always been fucking expensive. But like, yeah, when they went to Boston, they were just like, fucking hell, bruv. Like, this is costing this and that is costing that.
Boston's the most expensive. Boston is worse than New York City in some areas for cost.
Yeah.
They're bad. They're one of the worst. They actually, I think, might have the highest average rent in the entire country, if I'm being quite honest with you. But like I said, though, you're not going to get that. That's not guaranteed. Boston lucked out getting them with how much booze. And then look, you saw all the Scottish guys go to a baseball game. They had Scotland night at the Red Sox where they all bought. That's a dream to fucking happen. You're not guaranteed to get that for every single city. It depends who you're getting. Plus, the other thing is the Northeast of the United States have a very strong lineage still to the UK between all the Irish and the Brits and the Scots that stayed in the Boston, New York area. So
the Boston Celtics, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Yeah. So you have that base. You know, Chicago, the only way you were going to make money in Chicago is if you got Bosnia here because of the amount of there's more Bosnians. If you combine Chicago and St. Louis, it's the largest Bosnian population. It's not in the country in both cities. St. Louis is the highest Bosnian population, not in Sarajevo, and Chicago's got the second highest. So if you're Chicago, you want to get Bosnia. Now, you would like to get Mexico in Chicago, but the problem is Mexico was also a co-host, so they're staying in Mexico City. So you weren't going to make that money.
And you got games in Guadalajara as well, and Monterrey.
Exactly.
So it's like.
But at the end of the day, the problem was with Chicago. It wasn't a shock because Chicago wasn't going to take the loss on the business. That's the problem at the end.
And there's a lot of any major event, whether it's a major tournament or there's obviously like gigs, there's festivals and all that. There's a lot of, I know about setting up like gigs and festivals because I used to do that for a bit when I was a bit younger. There's a lot of prep that goes into that shit, especially if it's outdoors, but even indoors, but especially the outdoor ones. You got to do the whole like risk assessment, bruv. You got to do the financial like costs, the pros and cons, everything, gains and losses and all of that shit. Like with Chicago as well, like what you mentioned, like you've got like, was it the smallest NFL stadium? Like, is that including the college one as well? Because none of the college were.
We don't have any college stadiums in the city of Chicago for football.
You don't.
All we got.
Hell, bro.
No, because here's the thing. See, when it comes to sports, it depends where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to college football, the big teams are normally in places that are not big cities.
Right.
They're generally not like Ohio State is in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio, when you include the city and the entire metropolitan, is probably over 1 million people now. Back in the day, it wasn't. Ann Arbor is basically a suburb of Detroit, as far as being like 45.
I heard Ann Arbor's got a nice lake and all of that and shit as well. Like it's great in the summertime and shit. From what I've heard, anyway.
I couldn't tell you. RSV's from around that area. Big up RSV because he's
big
around,
up RSV.
He's around the Detroit area. But like Detroit, Ann Arbor is technically a suburb of Detroit if you look at it in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like the colleges, it all depends with that. In Chicago, there's no team that we have that's been good at football. Plus, the other thing is this: most of our colleges are commuter colleges. People move to the city of Chicago and then they commute still to the college. There's not a lot of college campus here that has big dorms like that. Like Northwestern is in Evanston. It's the first north suburb of the city of Chicago. That would be like your big college football team for the city of Chicago. But then like in basketball, you got Northwestern, you got Loyola, you got DePaul. You know, UIC's never been that good of a basketball team. UIC is really just a commuter college. So your big sports you don't really have in the city of Chicago. Like UIC is known nationally for football, not American football, actual football. They're very well known for football,
real football, real football.
Yes, but at the end of the day, that's the thing. Like it varies with that type of stuff with colleges. Like you don't see. Like the football stadiums for certain teams are going to be your biggest stadium at what's it called in the area. It's going to be your American football stadium is going to be your biggest stadium. And again, that's if it's in the city. You know, it's almost a third of the NFL teams. Their stadium is not in the actual fucking city. They may be so like. For instance, the stadium that they're saying New York Stadium, right? It's in New Jersey. It's not even in the state of New York. It's in the state.
Because it's not like it's not even in the burbs. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even like in the burbs.
No, see, New York City is weird. Technically, Jersey is still the suburbs of New York.
Oh, right, okay.
Because it's so compiled. So New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York are known as the tri-state. They call it the tri. It's three states that are just on top of one another. And when you combined all of it, it's like 30 fucking million people just on top of one another in that area across all that terrain. You can get to like MetLife if you drive from New York, you can get there in an hour 30. Now you're going to deal with a fuck ton of traffic.
Oh yeah,
the whole way there. But
on the interstate, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? The highway, bro. The highway to hell and all that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So I think that when you're looking at it from there, but that's the thing. It all depends where everything's at. Again, like here, had Italy made the World Cup, Italy wouldn't have been in Chicago at all. They would have been in New York with all the Italians out on the East Coast. Because that would have been technically a home game. You're guaranteed to get sales. That's why, like, when it comes to the U.S. and how they did everything, you would have to get lucky with what you were doing. And again, you're not making really the city. Okay, you got people coming in. Your teams aren't breaking bread with you because they ain't making no fucking money like FIFA is. FIFA's absorbing all the money. Are you really making that much money on the tax dollars per drink if you don't get a big group of people coming in here? That's why Chicago didn't want to take.
But that's why Chi-Town is smart, bro. That's why Chi-Town has always been. I from what I've seen and heard, I always saw Chicago as one of like the smartest, you know, brightest, and some of the best talent as well, like across the board. Period. Obviously, with the Bulls in it, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and that. You know, on the other side of entertainment, you got obviously the Bernie Macs of the world and all that, R.I.P. and that. That
greatest of all time, man.
Yeah, bro. That guy's a fucking legend, bro. Everywhere, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I've seen so many films that he's done. Like, even like some of his stand up is fucking generational, bro. And even his own show, even his own fucking show, bro. Legendary, bro.
He's insane.
I wish he was in the Boondocks, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like. He would have been like that final piece because you got Cat Williams, obviously you got John Witherspoon, legends of the game. You had the Terry Crews, the Lil Waynes, etc. Yeah, all well and good, but like Regina Kings and that, but fucking Bernie Mac.
He'd have been another level of funny.
I loved him when he was in Transformers. I know he was
What do
only
you
on
guys-
there for like 5 minutes of that.
What do you guys think of this game tomorrow with England and Argentina? What do you guys think?
Do you know, I'm gonna let Kwaja go first personally because I know I've said a lot in it, and I want to hear what he has to say first as well.
Kwaja, what do you think? Because first off, have you seen this old report that Thomas Tuchel said that Rice is in a lot of pain?
Yeah, I've been looking at the news. I think he said that 3 days he's been in, I think stomach pain and all that, and I think he'll be fit to face Argentina. To be honest with you, I think he could have taken out a Morton. I think that would have been the perfect solution. Wharton and Anderson together. I think that would have worked, but obviously he didn't do it. But listen, I'm going to back the boys as always. I think, listen, Thomas Tuchel has picked the squad that he picked. It is what it is. He's done well with this tournament, win the semi-finals, and obviously now let's just go out there and put in a performance. I mean, the only player that I'm scared of Argentina is Messi. I mean, that's the only player that I know that he's going to turn up, and you know what Messi can do. He's the greatest player of all time in this generation. I just feel like he's going to come up clutch again, and I feel like he's the guy that's giving me nightmares when I'm going to sleep. He's the guy that's going to give me nightmares because I've seen his record against English teams. You know, he's been playing for Barcelona against the English teams. He's done really well, but now this is his first time facing England, so I expect us to do what we did against Haaland, keeping him quiet, and we just have to keep Messi quiet for most of the game. And obviously, listen, Argentina's defense ain't great, so is ours, but I expect us to go out there and just put on a performance. And I think Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham have been really good this tournament. To be honest with you, I was not really happy with Jude Bellingham being in the England squad, to be honest with you, because the last 2 seasons at Real Madrid, he's been pony. He's been trash for the last 2 seasons. And obviously, I would have picked Gibbs White ahead of him, Adam Watson ahead of him. But listen, Jude Bellingham has been really good. 6 goals in this World Cup, clutch player. I think Harry Kane is improving his form. And those 2 are the current players to look out for tomorrow. And obviously, I just pray that we don't face a penalty shootout, because if we do, then Emi Martinez is going to save the penalties. And I don't know why on earth we sold him to Aston Villa, but Arteta said attitude problems. So listen, I'm going to say 2-1 England.
Ooh, okay. I was actually going to ask you before your prediction, what would you like to see change in the starting 11 for England in this game against Argentina? Would you – I personally – obviously it's hard to do it now because you're in the semifinal, but I would have liked to see Elliot Anderson and Kobe Mainu play together in one of the games to see how they get on, because I just think Anderson and fucking I just think Anderson and Rice is just too fucking negative. It's just too defensive and too pragmatic in the middle. And then when you think about going, I mean, listen, man, I don't know who the fuck at this point. I think Noni Madueke is paying for people to get hookers. There ain't no way this guy is loved by this many people with how shit he is, dude.
But he takes on his man, though. That's what we were told, that he could take on his man, and he can
take on his man. Dude, when he did that one cross in the game, that motherfucker sent that bitch from wherever the fuck they were playing back to London. The guy, he's a left-footed winger trying to be technical. You're going to have to cross the ball at some point with your right foot, and he has no right foot. And the ball went completely screwball the other fucking way. Me personally, I think England in this game needs to start Rashford and Rodgers on the wings and just say fuck it and let them go and attack the Argentina's defense is not as great as everybody thinks it is. It's not. No. It's not. Lisandro Martinez has not been that good. He's been revered because of the goals that the goal that he scored against Cape Verde. That's it. I don't think their defense is that good. I think
Romero is massively overrated. The only players that I rate are Emi Martinez and Messi, but other than that, DePaul is rubbish. Enzo Fernandez, how on earth is he going to get?
DePaul's old. DePaul's old and playing out of position too. Let's be honest. I don't know why Scaloni is playing him as a right mid. He's not a right mid in any day of the week. He's always a number 6. I don't get it. I agree with you. But DePaul is a decent midfielder. I just think that Argentina has been getting lucky. Yeah, I think 100%. England if you want to try to question if the luck is running out, I think you need to put Rashford and Rodgers in there to ask questions. Because I don't think Molina is not that good of a right back. Neither is that fucking Gonzalo Montiel. He ain't that good either.
Tagliafico as well. I don't think
Tagliafico is 34 years old, out there with a fucking fibrillator on his fucking heart at this point for him to even stay going where he's going.
Walking
I
sick, bro.
Yeah, I honestly think if England says, you know what, Jude, Rashford, Rodgers, and Kane, just go for it and attack these motherfuckers, I think England could get at Argentina. If they're coming out with the same starting 11 as it was, obviously some things need to change. First of all, I don't think Jed Spence should ever play right back. How he got on the English national team is a fucking myth to me as well. But I don't think England beats Argentina if they throw that same starting 11 out. If it's the same starting 11, I don't think England wins. I think if England's more direct and more attacking from the jump, I think they can get at Argentina. But if they're going to try the same old shit, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like with Argentina, they don't listen. I'm not going to sit here and say Argentina will not win the game. Listen, they can win, but it depends on if Thomas Tuchel is brave enough to put Kobbie Mainoo. I mean, he's got 0 minutes in this World Cup. I'm just surprised that Kobbie Mainoo hasn't got enough minutes. I mean, Jude Bellingham can play the number 8, and you can put Rodgers in the 10 or Eze in the 10. But the thing is, Declan Rice.
I'd be fine with that too.
I mean, I just feel like when he took off Declan Rice against Norway, it kind of worked. I mean, Anderson in the 6, Bellingham in the 10, he just kept attacking. I think it kind of worked. But the problem is, right, we need to defend better because I know that, the thing is, right, from corner kicks, we kind of look a bit suspect. I think we look a bit suspect in corner kicks because Argentina scored from a set piece. And if they get a corner kick, I mean, how can we mark from a set piece? That's the problem. Because we were very fortunate not to concede against Norway because obviously Haaland did push Anderson. I did think it was a foul, but it is what it is. But sometimes in these set pieces, the last time we scored from a set piece was Croatia, and we haven't scored from it. So I think it was Panama, Bellingham's. And yeah, and it's been a while, but set pieces we kind of struggle in that stuff, and I think defensively we need to improve with the set pieces because sometimes our man marking zone has been terrible. And listen, Argentina scored from a set piece, so listen, we can score, but obviously let's just hope it doesn't go down to penalties because Emi Martinez is an expert at penalty kicks. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I think. The only the way I see this game going, right? Noni Madueke, the brave little toaster needs to stay in the fucking kitchen, bruv. I don't give a shit, bruv. That motherfucker needs to be nowhere near that starting 11. He needs to be the brave little toaster, the brave little toaster wannabe,
little toaster.
Bandana merchant, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? En la basura, dash that in the fucking bin, cunt. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he should not be starting. Don't even bring him off the bench, bruv. If you start Gordon and you're going the Pens route, it's a hell of a risk. The only reason why I would even entertain Pens is because of Ivan Toney. That's the only fucking reason. Because I want to see him play. He hasn't played at all. Same with Kobbie Mainoo, like Quadra said. It is what it is. But the way I see this game going, I agree with you. Gianni, I think we need to start Rodgers and Rashford. Definitely Rashford. And then we bring Bukayo Saka on instead of fucking... Madueke, because we know Bukayo Saka ain't fit to play 90 minutes, never mind 120 minutes. Yeah. And you could go either way. If you're going to start Anthony Gordon, because the only thing he can do pretty well is take a pen. So if you're going to start Rodgers and then you bring on Anthony Gordon for pens, maybe, if the game's a bit tight, because it might be. And then you have... Kobbie Mainoo in that midfield. The other player I don't want coming on or starting is Jordan Henderson, bruv. Why we picked that motherfucker? I have no idea. I have no fucking idea.
He injured his wrist while trying to jump off the board, and he hurt his wrist.
Yeah,
brother,
good.
I'm not gonna
Leave him
lie.
out. Leave him
I
out,
was
bro.
stoned. I was stoned as piss when I saw that. I was laughing my balls off when I saw him injured himself. I'm sorry. That's got to be a record. You don't play a single fucking minute, got a yellow card, and got injured. You're a fucking dickhead.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
He went to
100%.
hospital as well.
But look,
and how did he make the bench? Was crazy as well.
Here's the thing, right? Yeah, we got Reece James back barely. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and in a game of this magnitude, even if he's like 50% fit, we don't have anyone better in it. You know, he has to start in it. When it comes to left back, and again, this is the problem when you don't bring even a remotely recognised left back. You leave Lewis Hall at home, you leave Tyreek Mitchell at home. This is the problem that you're going to have when you play any four at the back formation. We got Pickford. We know he's going to be in the net. I prefer Dean Henderson, but look, it is what it is. Rice for me, I don't want him to start. I want him to come off the bench because, again, I think this game's going to be really tight. We could utilise him for penalties. Same with Saka. Same with Ivan Toney. I don't think this will be a game for Ollie Watkins. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings him on, but do you know what it is for me, yeah? Tommy Tuchel said something in the preview, yeah, after the Spain-France game tonight about we're playing against the top team and all of that, and that's it. No. England-Argentina is different, bruv. There's a lot of... You know the history, Gianni. Quadra, I'm sure you're aware of the history. It's not just any old game, bruv. Yep. This goes way, way back. Even like 66 and all of that, and then you got the Falklands, 86. Yeah. And then obviously what happened in 98 in France with Don Diego, bruv, and then Beck's losing his shit. There were fucking effigies of him for a fucking year or so. And then 0-2 redemption, bruv, for Beck's. Do you know what I'm saying? That pen, I remember watching that game as well. 1-0. They had Batistuta. They had Juan Veron. All of them ballers, they had even, and for that pen, did you notice that Michael Owen dived for that? Yeah. And it was fucking Pochettino. It was Pochettino that got the rap, and fucking Bielsa was their manager as well. On top of that, you couldn't write it. You couldn't write it.
This is massive for Thomas Tuchel. Honest question: if Thomas Tuchel won the World Cup with England, do you think he stays? Do you think he bolts?
I think he stays at least for one more
I genuinely give him a,
or at least another tournament. Like he has to. But you know what? I don't think we'll win the World Cup. But if we win the World Cup,
I think England would want to keep him. I'm saying,
yeah.
Do you think he stays on for the English national team, or do you think he says, "I won this World Cup, ha, motherfuckers, let me leave"? And leave my resume out there to potentially take over somewhere else. Because if he wins the World Cup with England, the wrongs of the Bayern Munich period are wiped away easily. You can't even bring up the stupidity of Bayern Munich.
100%.
If he wins the World Cup.
To be honest, we have to give him a statue. I don't care if he's fucking German. Like over here, we still sing the 9 bombers in the air and all that shit. We win the World Cup. I don't know about that. I don't sing it. Not anymore, but still it's it's one of them ones, isn't it? Like where it's just like if he wins the World Cup, it would not surprise me if he decides to bounce and all that shit. It would not surprise me. But in order for us to beat Argentina to even get to the fucking final against Spain, as we know right here, right now, and all that shit, he has to pick the right starting 11 and he has to make the right substitutions. We know this game's going to be tricky. They're going to be up for it. Even though it's a one-man band and then the rest of the team do all the running for Leo Messi, because we know he's the greatest. We know he's the best player on the planet and has been for decades now, a couple of decades. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and it'll be his first time playing England as well. Like he's played English opposition. He's played us, like Arsenal. He's played obviously Man United and Chelsea. I think he's played City as well. He's played Tottenham a few times.
And Liverpool as well.
And Liverpool. And Liverpool. Yeah, that free kick was fucking magical, bro. But playing England for the first time at 39, in the States, Infantino, he's going to have that fucking smirky ass, mischievous grin on his face, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Infantile, bro. And it will be infantile. Do you know what I'm saying? There's going to be mad challenges, bro. There'll be mad decisions, not just one. There'll be at least a few. Never mind the wire. Never mind, VAR and all that. It's going to be a beyond crazy ass fucking game. But look, midweek, coming back from work and all that shit, I'll be looking forward to that shit. In terms of what I think the score's going to be, yeah, I do want goals, but I don't think there's going to be many. I have a sneak. Do you know what I think it's going to be? Yeah, I think it will be 1-1, and somehow, because bearing in mind, Messi hasn't been great on the spot. Do you know what I'm saying? I think he's missed all of his penalties in the World Cup. I don't think he scored one. So I reckon it goes to penalties, and I think we just about do it. And Tommy Tooks brings on Ivan Toney. Brings on Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I have a feeling he might start Rodgers and then bring on Gordon. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Gordon, I think, is a better penalty taker.
Yeah.
If he starts Madueke, that goes out the window and Argentina win like 2-1, maybe 3-1. But if he doesn't do that shit, yeah, if he doesn't bring on or start the brave little toaster, yeah, like I see it 1-1 going to pens, and Emi Martinez he'll save like 1 or 2, but I think Argentina won't be able to capitalize like that because they've already won it. Do you know what I'm saying? With Leo Messi, it wasn't even so much that Argentina wanted them to win it. I wanted Leo Messi to win it. As far as I'm concerned, with everything that's been going on with the majority of their fans, I'm gonna be real. Fuck Argentina, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really just Leo Messi.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
literally. How can you have the two best players that have ever graced the game of football, and the majority of your nation? Yeah, I know some of you are calm, yeah, but for the most part, yeah, I've seen some shit, bruv. You've seen it as well, Gianni. I'm sure you've seen it, Quadron. That it's fucking disgusting. Yeah. But it doesn't surprise me. It's just like, how can you be that ignorant? Have two GOATs, legends of the game, and you're moving like fucking cunts, mate.
Bro, on top
you know
of
what I'm saying?
I
would love nothing more. I would love nothing more than for them to lose.
Bro, here's the thing. Here's the thing with me.
I have to be real.
They're selling out fucking stadiums in certain places because they know they wouldn't be able to act the way that they act. Bro, throw all them Argentinian fans saying that shit in New York.
Hang on, where's the game going to be played tomorrow?
The game tomorrow, I think, is it Miami still?
Yeah, but even then.
The World Cup finals in New York, though, so...
The World Cup finals in New York.
Yeah,
Argentina gets to the finals. You ain't going to see them all. You ain't going to see that over there.
But that...
Unless New York got super soft.
Yeah,
but New York got super soft, you ain't going to do that shit over there.
It's in Atlanta,
it's in Atlanta. Even worse. You ain't going to hear that shit from them. You are not going to hear that shit from them over there. They're going to get a
This is what I think will make the final. I don't think we'll win it, but I just have a feeling we'll make the final, just like we did with the Euros, and then we'll get played off the park by Spain. I think we can beat this Argentina team. And with everything else that we've just mentioned, it being in Atlanta, do you know what I'm saying? Aircon, all of that shit, yeah? We've got players, black, white, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying, yeah?
Yeah.
Our fans, you know this, Gianni, as well. England, especially London, but even across the country, yeah? Very multicultural, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Whether it's white, black, Asian, Indian, whatever, yeah?
Dude, all
from all over the world. They're not gonna put. One thing about English fans, yeah. Yes, there are certain English fans that are racist and all that shit that hold certain views like that.
Yeah,
but for the most part, yeah, when it comes to our players and how we're playing and all that shit, and especially how the World Cup's gone with other teams showing a bit of unity, yeah. I think it might be one of the first times that we've seen in a while. I won't go as far as say ever, but the first time we've seen it, in this modern era, at this point in time, where the Argentinian fans are going to do the same shit they've been doing the whole fucking tournament, and the English fans are just going to be like, nah, we don't care about our reputation, innit? And to be honest, not saying we'll get away with it, but we won't get the slack that we did against Russia in the 2016. It won't be like that. If we stand up to Argentina, with all the history and everything, and how they've been doing, trust me, it's going to be a madhouse, bro.
bro, if the Argentinian fans are talking reckless in the city of Atlanta, you can best believe the city of Atlanta will stomp a mud hole in that ass over there. You ain't gonna be saying that racist.
No,
That is
100%.
the last.
Argentina is getting torn apart. Like,
that is
it
one
won't
of
show
the
it on the
last
pitch, but
cities.
their fans here are in for a rude awakening, bro. They're
Yeah,
in for a
not
rude
in
awakening.
Atlanta. Hell no, not
They're in for a rude
Atlanta.
awakening. Look, trust me, we've seen it all across the socials. You know, the Egypt game and all that, chucking beer. If they do any of that shit to our lot,
No, they.
different,
I'm not even talking
different.
about you guys. I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
No,
you
I understand.
fuck around in
Even if they
Atlanta,
start
it's
doing-
gonna be a long fucking
Yeah, but
day.
even if they start doing that shit, never mind the trying, we won't put up with that. But if they start chucking shit and doing all of that bullshit, yeah, we won't stand for it, bro. Because when it comes to England fans, like I'm not saying we have the best fans in the world, but our English fans, for the most part, yeah, they're solid. It's not like in the Premier League, like where we have the tourists and all that shit.
There'll
It's
be
not
more
like
security,
that.
by the
We've
way.
got-
So there's going to be a lot of security
Oh,
during
of
the game
course.
because of the
Oh
Argentinian.
yeah,
honest,
there's gonna be a lot of. I'm saying
If I
before
was-
you even get the
they need to
security
split it,
involved,
bruv.
them
They need to
Argentina
split it.
fans can't talk reckless like that.
They need to
Not in
split
Atlanta.
it, bro. They can't be mixing English and Argent. No chance, bro. If I
You
was,
ain't. Them Argentinians ain't gonna be saying no racist shit in Atlanta. You're gonna get the shit kicked out of you over there. That is wrong. That is the wrong fucking city.
Atlanta
Right
is
at
so diverse, bro. So multicultural and all that
Bro,
shit. Like, it's
Fuck multicultural. Atlanta and Washington D.C. both got the fucking nickname Chocolate City for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is a very black and proud city. You
Oh,
are not
100%.
go down with you are
Shout
not,
out to Matt. Shout out to Southern Gouda
yeah,
as
big
well,
out,
bro.
shout out to Southern
Atlanta,
Gouda.
Georgia, bro.
Atlanta-
Native, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Atlanta, Georgia is a very loud, black and proud city. That city, you are not going to go there on that racial shit.
Hey, you guys will be rooting for us in a way. There's a lot of nations that hate us for many reasons, yeah, but they might actually be rooting for us for the first time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like on a sporting level, at least, like to a certain degree, like not going too far.
I don't want Argentina tying fucking Italy with 3 World Cups or 4 World Cups.
Hell no, hell no. And
with
what they've been doing this tournament, bruv, I don't care how great. Look, Leo Messi will still be my guy, but that's just one guy. That's just one guy, bro. The rest of them can go fuck themselves, bro.
Shout out Cairo, exactly. The gun laws in Atlanta is different. They are not going to do that shit over there.
No.
They can try. They've been doing
It's all
that
bark,
shit.
no bite, bruv. It's all bark, no bite. Trust me. They'll get
Bro,
shut
they've
down
been in
real
fucking
quick.
Kansas City.
Mm.
They've been in Kansas City. Kansas City and Atlanta is 2 different fucking stories.
Mm.
You are not gonna go. You are not gonna go to Atlanta with the amount of fucking business in the downtown area that is owned and ran by black people. You are not gonna be pulling that racist shit in Atlanta like they've been doing with Ice Show Speed or in all these other little. You are not doing that in Atlanta. You are
They did
not.
Egypt fans, by the way.
100%.
They threw beer at Egypt fans after the game. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you are not pulling that in Atlanta.
No.
If you do, be ready to get your shit kicked in.
Oh,
They will be fucking getting shit shaken down there in Atlanta. They're not.
it'll be a war zone down there, bro.
Yeah.
And look, it is what it is, bro. Like sometimes you need that ass whooping, bro. You need a certain humbling, bro. Because a lot of them Argentinian fans, it's not all of them, but most of them, they have that certain level of fucking entitlement, bro. Yeah. I don't care if you got 2 of the greatest players to ever grace the game of football, acting like that, bro. Yeah. There's a reason why most of you.
There's no fucking need for it. There's no.
Yeah, there's a reason why most of you, but most of them rather. Sorry, the rest of the countries, right? Yeah, they want your ass out the tournament, bruv. They wanted your ass out for the longest, bruv. They wanted your ass out the tournament for the longest. Do you know what I'm saying? With the way that you're moving, do you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, yeah, and I hear what you're saying, Johnny. Like Washington DC, but in this case, Atlanta, right? If they dare try and do that shit, bro,
they're not doing
it's gonna be a war zone, bro. All it takes is one. All it takes is one fucking idiot.
Yeah.
All it takes is one Argentinian fucking idiot that thinks he or she is slick, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me.
No, not down there. Not down there. You ain't gonna do that in the South, and especially not no fucking Atlanta.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Atlanta.
They're not gonna deal with that nonsense down there. They will slap the fuck out them people. So. Okay, Tigre's fucking hilarious. He goes 3-1 Spain over England on Sunday full time.
I hear it. Yeah. I hear it.
Real quick before we wrap up, just to swing it to Arsenal.
Yeah.
If England don't win, whether they get to the final or they lose tomorrow, if England don't win and Rice and Saliba got big injuries, and Saka too have big injuries coming into this season.
Don't forget Noni Madueke as well.
I don't give a fuck about him. That dude should be selling pizza somewhere, not fucking playing for Arsenal.
He should be selling bagels, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Straight
Sell the
out of his
bandanas as
bread with
well.
a toaster.
Sell the
Do you know what I'm
bandanas.
saying? Like straight from source.
But
bro.
for me, do you think more talk about the manager as far as the state that the players are in, of him running them into the ground? Do you think we will ever see more airtime on that topic? Because for me, I think it's absolutely hypocrisy that you got guys like Piers Morgan having John Terry, and I for the most part, I agree with, as far as when it comes to football, I agree with a lot of what Simon Jordan says. I do not agree with the fact that Simon Jordan and all these guys are turning their heads and not bringing up the fact that these players have been ran into the ground. They're sitting here talking stupidity, talking about, I don't understand why Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, and William Saliba, the Arsenal boys, look ran down. I don't understand it. Do you think that if England was to lose, obviously that we get a third place game for whatever the fuck?
Yeah, on
let's
Saturday.
say,
Yeah.
Let's say for shits and giggles, they lose tomorrow to Argentina and then they place fourth at the World Cup and lose the third place game. Do you think that there is going to be any coverage that is going to be needed for the flack to go towards Arteta for running these players into the ground, or do you think the media is just going to keep putting a blind eye to this? Because I think it's disgraceful that nobody is asking why all the Arsenal players are looking ran into the ground.
Oh, they'll definitely cover it up, Johnny. They'll absolutely cover it up. You know what it is over here, yeah? It's PR central, bruv. It's PR central. That, like, if Simon Jordan's doing the PR shit when it comes to that in particular, and I think some of his takes are valid, but I don't agree with everything he says. But for the most part, it's on point, you know, here and there, especially when it comes to general football shit. Yeah, he ran. I
agree with Jordan, because I agree with Simon Jordan only because of the fact that in a lot of ways I look at the game somewhat kind of like him, where he brings in a lot of big picture shit when he's talking about like clubs and stuff and how they need to be ran and everything else. I don't like the fact that both him and John Terry have taken this role of exactly what you said, embracing the PR when the PR is not what's needed. You know, overall, the problem is the players are playing too many games. Let's just call it for what it is. The players are playing too many games. There shouldn't be this. UEFA Nations League is bullshit. They should scrap that fucking competition.
100%.
Number one. Number two, like at the end of this season, there shouldn't be any international friendlies. You just got off a fucking World Cup.
No qualifiers, bro. Like, for me, you know me, brother, yeah? Like, when it comes to, I'll give you a great example. When it comes to rugby, yeah? They'll have international games here and there. Yes, they've had more than previous seasons, and I don't like that, because it never used to be like that. It was only at certain points, the odd years here and there, or they'd have one. They'd have 2 points, like one at the end of the year, and then they have one in the summer. But they didn't have games in between that like they do in football, especially for the past like 10, 15 years or so. But rugby doesn't have a qualifier when it comes to the top seeded teams. It should be the same in football. Top seeded team, like the top 16, even the top 32, but definitely the top 16 seeded teams around the world, they shouldn't have to qualify. So what it would mean, and it would be less games, hear me out, it would be less games, and then what it would also mean is you wouldn't have this issue with Italy not qualifying for a World Cup for 3-4 times in a row, 2-3 times in a row. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like Italy qualifies for the Rugby World Cup every fucking time, bruv. They're in the Six Nations, like European Championships every time as well. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't miss out. because there's no qualifier for the top seeded teams. Italy are like, I haven't checked the rugby rankings, but I think they're top 15, just shy of top 10, because they've had a good championships this year, and rightly so. They beat England, like I said they would. You know, I should have put a bet on that, but look, it is what it is. But like, do you know what I'm saying? They've had the best season of their lives, and they've got a infrastructure. They've got a plan to build up the national team. Yes, they've got players like exports from other nations and all of that to bolster the squad, but other nations have done that. We've done that for a while. France have done that. Australia, New Zealand have been doing it, and South Africa have been doing it for the longest. They've been taking players from fucking Zimbabwe and shit like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Botswana, we do it in football as well. Yep. So you know, you guys are doing it with Italy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even since, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, like since Mario Balotelli, like you've got other players that are not, or that have not that aren't Italian, but have heritage elsewhere. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then
even before Balotelli, Camoranesi was born in Argentina.
Oh, yeah. So you have the Argentinian side, and then now you've got the African and wherever else around the world and shit like that, and just building up. But yeah, get rid of the Nations League. Get rid of the qualifiers, because again, we don't want to see England or Italy face Andorra, Liechtenstein, and fucking Gibraltar. We don't want to see that shit.
I think there's something.
Nations League anyway. What was the point in building this Nations League?
Just get rid of the qualifiers.
Does that make sense?
The Nations League makes no fucking sense. Nobody gives a fuck about it. It ain't worth a fuck. Nobody cares.
And then the qualifiers on top of that as well. Like,
exactly. I agree with you to a certain degree. I think there is a world where you need to force the shit teams, whether they like it or not. The shit teams need to slug it out with themselves before they play the bigger teams.
Yep.
Right. And I'm not saying this from being an Italian fan. I'm just saying that all these games make no fucking sense. All of these games make no fucking sense. You're running as an English fan and a fan of the English game, I do not want to see the League Cup getting scrapped, because that, in my honest opinion, that'll end up being what they try to do. Oh, we'll play less games. And I don't necessarily know if going down to 18 teams is the answer either for the Premier League, because again, if you're talking about if the Premier League trying to maximize profit, they need 20 teams in there. So I don't know if getting rid of 2 games out of the season for that and scrapping the League Cup is the way to go.
It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough, because we went from 24 teams like it is in the Championship. You remember the old Division 1 where it was like you played like 42 games a season, which was like 22 teams. Before that, it was 24 teams. Yeah. And then it went to a point like in the mid-90s or so, early mid-90s, where it ended up just being 20 teams, 38 games, and it stuck with that ever since. Just keep it at that. Like you say, just get rid of the Nations League. I would personally get rid of the qualifiers and then play maybe 1, maybe 2 at most, but 1 like warm-up international game. They do that at rugby, and it works. Yes, it's a different sport. It's a different sport and all of that, but the premise is still the same, because yes, rugby is way more physical and all of that, less technical in certain aspects. Well, I say less technical, but like back in the day, but now
I'm trying to think about it how you put it, because I like your idea of the bigger teams not playing as much. At the same time, the smaller teams, the question is where are you going to go with certain scenarios? Like for me, you can't. FIFA rankings are so full of shit, anyways. Because remember, Belgium was the number 1 team in the world for 6 fucking years and did fuck all as the number 1 team in the world.
Well, they'd have to change that as well. That would be
that's
what I would.
That's why, like for me, I think you're on to something with that, but it should be like a 2-tier qualifier. That like the big teams, obviously the big markets need to be around there. I think the Nations League is a waste of space. I think that's the only way
if you're going to keep the qualifiers even for the bigger teams, because I'd still keep it for the smaller teams and slug it out, like what they do in rugby. I will keep that. But for the bigger teams, yes, I would change the FIFA rankings anyway in terms of like the setup and all of that. But if you're going to keep the qualifiers for the bigger teams, there has to be less groups and less games, far less games. And there is a way to do it. So if you have like in Europe, you have like the top 8 teams, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you spread it out a lot more, do you know what I'm saying? And it's not so like where you're playing 2-3 games in the international break or whatever, but you spread it out a lot. So then, and to be honest, I've said this for the longest, how the fuck does the Premier League, how does English football not have a winter break, bruv? For the longest is a disgrace, bruv. Every other European nation has it. The French have it, the Italians have it, the Spanish have it, the Germans have it, even the fucking Dutch and the Portuguese. Huh? Yeah,
the Germans damn near got a month off.
Yeah, exactly. Even the Dutch and the Portuguese have a fucking winter break. But we fucking don't. Why? Because, and again, like you mentioned earlier, like going to the States with the World Cup, I hear it. They're doing it wrong, mainly the Premier League. Yeah, you bring in the most money, but you're still doing it wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? And these players are going to break down. This is the problem with modern football. When you prioritize robots, athletes, rather than techie ballers, bruv, this is what you get, bruv. Madueke should be representing, at most, GB in the fucking track and field Olympics, bruv. He should be nowhere near a football team, nowhere near a rugby team, because like he get folded in two, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even playing on the wing there, bruv, catch the ball and he'd get clarted, bruv. He'd get absolutely destroyed. And obviously, you see what Zlatan, like, if people are going to wake up from what's, just very quickly, if people are going to wake up to the reality that Noddy Madueke, the brave little toaster, has never ever been good enough, bruv. Yeah. Just because Zlatan said it, yeah. In my eyes, it's almost like you're too far gone, bruv. You don't need Zlatan to tell you that Madueke's dog shit, bruv.
Dude,
you don't need Zlatan or Titi to even insinuate that Anthony Gordon ain't been doing it, ain't been cutting it, bruv. You don't need any of them to tell you that this and that player ain't good enough or ain't been performing.
I got to ask Devontae when Noni Madueke played for PSV, because that was the last time he was any good.
Remotely.
You got to go that far back for him to be any good is the PSV thing. Listen, I agree. I think there should be a break somewhere in England. I think that's one of the biggest problems to why you see the fall off. I mean, we could say, look, Spurs had no chance of beating Atletico Madrid. I don't give a fuck about whatever Spurs fan wants to come up with. Whatever.
100%.
They were never going to have a chance. Chelsea never had a chance against PSG. They never had a chance. Besides those, Liverpool was sucking wind out of their ass trying to catch a breath against Galatasaray. You need to have a break somewhere in there, because the fall off of the English teams outside of Arsenal, when you look at the Champions League, was monumental this year. I mean, you saw shit you didn't. Galatasaray, had they had their shooting boots on, Liverpool wouldn't have beat them. Liverpool wouldn't have beat Galatasaray. If Galatasaray,
they would have beaten Juve as well. Not what was it? Or
the way Galatasaray, if they had their shooting boots on like they had against Juve, Liverpool doesn't beat them. It's Galatasaray and PSG in the competition like that. Not what they got out of it. Not nowhere fucking near. Spurs had no chance, so I don't care. Chelsea had no fucking chance of beating PSG. All them motherfuckers that thought, oh, we'll get PSG. We did it in the Summer League tournament. Sorry, brother.
And Man City struggled against what's his face?
Man City got ran off the park by Real Madrid.
Valverde. Federico Valverde,
yeah,
bro.
So I don't know, man. That's one thing that's been worrying to me about this entire time, though, with the World Cup, is that the coverage of all these guys zeroing in on all the Arsenal players and not talking about the fact that they've been ran into the ground by the manager, I think is a little concerning, especially when you look at what's going to be coming into next season. Because, like we said, I've been refreshing my browser every like 10 10 to 20 minutes, I have not seen anything on Saliba's injury being talked about even more. Normally over here, Yahoo Sports is normally the real good one when it comes to injuries and stuff. All the other stuff that you're seeing, nobody's saying much about what's going on as far as the injuries. So the only thing I can tell you is other people have confirmed that what I said earlier about Julien Laurent saying that he said in French, "My back is gone, my back is gone." So if it's a major back injury, we're not going to have Saliba for majority of the season. But listen, guys, we're going to end it there tonight. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time as always. Nat, you want to shout out your channel before we bounce? And as always, appreciate you giving up your time, brother.
Yeah, big up Gianni each and every single time. Always a pleasure, never a chore, as I always say. Natster Official, Natster on Insta and on YouTube. Go follow, like, and subscribe, share as well. Hit the notification bell so you will never ever miss when I go live and directing in full effect or when I upload the next video. Best believe that. There will be a match reaction for the England-Argentina game. I really want us to beat Argentina. I think most of the world does, to be fair, just by default. They're not even bothered whether it's, even if it's like England, like they just want them out the tournament now. And look, I hear it. With everything that's been happening, I hear it. It's in Atlanta as well, as you mentioned earlier, Gianni. So it's just like added space to that. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like Chris Eubank Senior said yeah, man, exactly. We're bringing that fish and chips. We're bringing that Sunday roast dinner, you know, which is basically your Thanksgiving every single weekend. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, bring the gravy and all that shit. Like, so, you know, we can dash their steak en la basura in the bin, bruv. It is what it is. Like, I don't care if Leo Messi is the GOAT, bruv. It won't be enough. I still stick with my 1-1 prediction and that we beat them on pens. Emi Martinez, he might save a couple, but it won't be enough. Do you know what I'm saying? I think some of their players will miss pens. Even Leo Messi might miss a pen because he ain't scored one. So, and Ivan Toney as well. I just want to see him contribute, at least contribute to this campaign. Same with Kobbie Mainoo as well. But yeah, so basically it will be on Thursday that I do that match reaction because I will be out there or thereabouts straight after work, and I'll come back, have a quick shower, and then bounce. Do you know what I'm saying? And then it's going to be a mad thing, bro. It's going to be it's going to be blood fire tomorrow night. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we can't stand them Argentinians, and especially with what they've been doing as well.
Yeah,
more fuel to the fire, and that. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Not all, but the majority of you.
We need the win so we can have Shane and Argentina tears, because we need them Shane tears. Because
we need their bags packed, bruv. We need to send them packing, bruv.
Because if England win, and Shane would say England robbed Argentina, England cheats.
Oh, Shane's been giving it, man. Shane ain't giving no about any of this shit. Quaja, appreciate your time as always. You want to shout your channel before we bounce out here? And again, thank you for your time as always, my guy.
No worries, man. Just praying that England win and hope to see, be drinking the Shane tears. And obviously, I'm looking forward to it. I've got my Talks Football channel. I'm going to upload possibly my match reaction and my player ratings on Insta, so you can go and check it out. And it's been a great show, and let's just hope that we do well in the transfer window. I mean, it's been a shambles.
Yeah 100% agreed. But big up to everybody who came in. Redirect you guys, go over to, I think North is still live with Lee. Head over there, hit him with the Gianni raid. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if England get this victory. Don't know. I personally have England winning 2-1. I think England see it out 2-1 against Argentina, but we will see. Big up to you guys. We will be having, I think, another show Friday. And then we may have a call-in show Saturday as well, depending on my schedule with work and everything. But yeah, big up to everybody, and
Big up.
we're out.
Take care.